Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
It's 3 a.m. and the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. A 100 boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Well, most of us, we made it home, but we never came back. When we close our eyes at night, we hear a rocket attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
Phantom Warriors, Friends of Central Texas. I'm Major General Scott Eflon, the Deputy Commanding General of 3 Corps, and I need to share with you a burden that we have here at Fort Hood and request your assistance. On 22 April, Vanessa Guillen, PFC in the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, was at her place of duty, and around noon is the last time anyone has seen her. Since that time, we've continued to search for her, and there's an active investigation from the Criminal Investigation Command. But we want to bring Vanessa home as efficiently and as rapidly as possible. And towards that end, I'm asking for your assistance. Somebody, some person out there has the piece of information we need to bring Vanessa home. We will continue to search for our missing member of our Army family. If you're the person that has the information we need, I ask you please call 254-495-7767. We need to bring Vanessa back to her Army family and to bring her back to her family. We won't stop this effort until we're successful. And with your help, we can be successful sooner. Thank you.
You get to see somebody who's never been around.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Man. Right shotgun is Flash. What's going on, big man?
I'm back, bitches.
Oh my God, man. What have you been up to?
Well, you know, I've been, searching the globe, trying to tell stories and piss off commands. I mean.
Yeah, I'm about to say, bro, you kind of, you've been kind of out and about doing stuff. I've been
ghosting. I've been enjoying the military life and drinking whiskey. It's pretty much all I do these days.
I don't even know. I don't even know if it just today was just been all freaking. It's been crazy with just emails and DMs and messages going into the inbox, and then stuff going on with current cultural societal events. God. So today, first thing I'm opening up a bunch of like staff stuff. I mean, I don't know if you saw some of the tweets and some of the messages that I've been throwing out. There's been I guess there must be a battle against XOs. The XOs have been pissing off the Army, and I'm thinking, God, man, the XOs can't be that bad. And I just like, God. So I was doing some subtweeting. I just talking to discussing some stuff with some XOs who contacted me. It's like, hey, why the hey, bro, I thought we were cool. I thought we were, everything's going on and everything's going all right. I'm like, nah, man, just some, there's some things that are going on with some other XOs within the within the formations. And God, it's just man, it's just people threatening us for trying to pull rank on the admins on the main page, and it's just crazy, bro.
You have no power.
Oh yeah, I was like, God, it was one of those things. It was one of those things that I just couldn't believe that.
An XO's a glorified receptionist.
Well, look, the job of the XO, or like the chief of staff, is one of the biggest jobs. I mean, in the staff. I mean, you think about it. They have to corral the all the staff primaries to make sure that the boss is given all the right information. And the XO and the S3 are usually back and forth with each other, and it's one of those. What's subtweeting? Subtweeting. Wow. Subtweeting is when you send a message out, not specifically diming out, because we have an anonymity clause in our DMs in our inbox, so we can't just drop, hey, Lieutenant Colonel so and so or Major so and so did this, and this, because we have to allow for the main page to engage. Oh, okay, you do know what subtweeting is. All right, got it. But at any rate, it's basically they're the herder of cats. They're the ones that orchestrate the ginormous and gigantic elephant ballet of all the primaries and their NCOICs within the staff, on a division staff or brigade staff or battalion staff. And it is frustrating for them that they have to get stuff from these primaries, and it's literally frustrating. But sometimes you'll have an XO that steps out a little bit. And when they step out, they will step out into lanes that they're not supposed to be at. That's the best way to do it without saying all XOs are, fucking shit or whatever. And that's what it is. Actions when it comes to exception of policies for individuals PCSing during this COVID crisis. Units not updating their slides to send a big army, so that way we can know exactly who is green or who's not green, or who's changing to green, who is going to be amber. There are so many. I felt like I was assisting in the XOing for the XOs, because it was just turning. I sent a tweet out, hey, turn on your slides. If you're not in the approval process, then don't worry about it. You're the command. I got it. Every soldier has a specific story to their situation. There's things that have to happen within the Army that still have to happen, right? It still has to be. Everybody knows that Army things still have to happen. But there's just some overzealous XOs that don't let their formation. There's a document that needs to go up. A 4187 needs to go up. The BC is not going to sign that, or the brigade commander is not going to sign that. And I'm thinking, this has nothing to do with at all the soldier situation. And it's really frustrating, man. There is, now that a lot of the lifting of some, there's been a DoD lift on some of the installations, some of the states. The rush is coming now. Everything's booming. Now everything's happening. You got to have movement left and right. Documents are flying. Morgan is working her ass off to get to assist in it. I mean, there's just a lot of shit happening, and there's a lot of things that are time sensitive that don't need that big sarge either. I mean, there's a big sarge in the Swan. There's been some S1 issues too, and I'm just like, God, man, you got to kind of like step back and let the processes happen, and just don't be that fucking fly in the ointment. Don't be the turd in the punch bowl. God, it's a Monday too, and it's a fucking Monday. You know what I mean? Everything's happening right now, and sports is fucking going nuts, and you were gone for a while. I miss my Flash. That's what it is. I miss my Flash.
I know you miss your Flash.
Miss all the back and forth, man. It's just, so it's just been crazy. I know you've been doing some Army stuff that, you were doing Army stuff, but God.
Yeah, I know it. Man, I tell you what, it was weird being gone with everything going on. It's felt handicapped. Like I have no outlet to speak on any of this, or even to get my voice or my opinion heard. So it's been pretty nuts. You mentioned sports. Usually we do it at the end of the hour, but it's all pressing with COVID and our social issues. So kind of want to dive into a couple of things.
Go for it, man.
Speaking on the COVID side, it looks like we won't be seeing baseball anytime soon. The Players Association voted down the owner's proposal for the 60-game offer. It was going to have them prorated about at 70%. They said that's BS. You know, and because there are some other conditions in there that I won't go into too much detail, but there's some condition in there about where they would play, you know, who would be allowed. It would be like stadium, fanless stadiums and type stuff, which is not a bad idea. It's worked in other places, but currently, you know, that deal's down. They are looking at an 80-game season that would start in sometime in mid-July, have a kind of expanded playoffs, and would prorate the baseball players by 80%, and that's still kind of in the works. Looks like we might get basketball back. Yes. You know, but whether the players actually want to play is one thing. There's been talks that because of the recent rise in racial tensions and calls for defunding the police and
recent. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it never stops, so it's still recent. Everything's recent. It all blurs together. A lot of NBA players have been talking about on social media, especially on Twitter, about not even playing altogether because like we should not play until changes have been made. And I can understand their viewpoint, but it looks like that they're going to start playing, and they'll start playing out of like Walt Disney World, Florida, and because they were almost they were getting close to the playoff runs. And actually, right now they would be in the playoffs. Actually, I think we'd be getting pretty close to. No, that they would have been in the playoffs by in like near mid-April. We'd already be seeing NHL and NBA playoffs. So there's short on details on that, but it does look like that it's going to happen. Arizona did opt out Arizona did opt out of the NBA restart, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I still don't think that the NBA is actually really going to kick off. NHL has mentioned something about it too, but not a lot of details with that. But everyone's got their eyes on NASCAR, which is weird. NASCAR is usually not the thing when we're talking about racial injustices and stuff like that.
Man, come on, dude.
NASCAR is not usually the forefront leader. So
you're talking about. Go ahead.
You make fun of that.
No. I'm not. What I'm saying is that I'm not making fun of it. It's just that if you've been in the areas of where NASCAR races and where they do their venues, they talk about the Confederate flag and the loser flag. Then you know what I mean. That it's almost like we know it's always been there. If you've been to any NASCAR event.
If we're talking who's made the most progressive moves when it comes to not displaying the Confederate, I mean the loser side flag, and being a very predominantly probably the whitest sport we have right now.
The whitest sport right now.
You know what? I think it's the only one behind it is hockey. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a lot of Slavs. I mean, I don't want to sit there and start blowing the fucking. Start exactly that. I don't want to start fucking getting all crazy and getting everybody talking about stereotypical who's in sports, but it's always the Russians, expats and Canadians. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I don't feel that as it's pointing out the obvious. It's like saying, well, it's not predominantly black in the NBA. It is, and it's fine. There's nothing. It's only bad if you decide to add things to it.
Right. Exactly.
So, but NASCAR is a predominantly white sport, with a lot of the crowd being of Southern nature and sometimes of ass backward thinking. And I'm trying to be very nice. Some of these guys are racist as fuck.
No, I was about to say, bro, what are you talking about?
Racist as fuck. Now, I've gone, I went to Richmond Speedway last year. Not the most exciting race, but it still was a good race.
Right.
And I loved it because in the stands, there was all walks of life, and it was awesome. But going past a couple of folks' little trailer thing going on, their tailgating, there were some pretty just like outright misogynist and racist fucks being out there. And I don't respond that with sport, but I don't, and they're more there.
I don't subscribe to that shit because in its time, NASCAR has always. I mean, it started on the beaches in its history. I mean, it started off in 1940. I mean, when you were talking about it earlier, and I was just talking about with some friends and all that are involved in it. You know, I got a little bit. That's one thing about this whole thing. It's been helping me with my history lessons, and you know, me and Spanky, we've been getting into history back and forth, and it's like, wow. And it started in 1947, and basically it was stock car racing, and everyone would like to say that it's you know, it's the track. The cars were meant to be driven off the street and onto the track because of, you know, the moonshine days. It harks back to that, right? And so it started back in 1947, and it really had its first, I would say, racial breakthrough in 1963 when Wendell Scott became the first African American to win like the race. He was like, bam, he was in there. That was a breakthrough. You know what I mean? And it's a. I'm pretty sure at that point during that time, I know for a fucking fact that he probably had some shit happening with him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He probably had some shit going on and some shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't really say like, because we're gonna go into you're gonna talk about the event, right? That happened.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I won't take that from you. But in its history, I've always seen pictures and videos of the tracks. And if you go to the NASCAR Museum in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you see it, you're kind of like, oh, wow, okay. I don't really remember seeing too much of the Confederate flags. I really don't remember seeing it when I was a kid.
It's something that kind of popped up since like the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing that when I was a kid.
It's kind of weird because, you know, we talk about folks that get mad at athletes that decide to, and yeah, I will call racers as athletes because damn, you want to be in a car that long, driving in that heat. That's an endurance test right there. But anyways, but it's definitely like something that's popped up in the 90s, and which is kind of weird. And it's like the resurgence of Southern pride. And don't get me wrong, I'm from the South and I love the South. And not like I love the South and fuck the Union, not like that. But I love the South. Like I love being.
There's nothing wrong with being happy where you're from, bro. I mean,
exactly.
there's nothing wrong.
I mean, thing where these Confederate flags started popping up, which is frankly just the weirdest shit ever.
Right.
Why?
No.
But then it started giving NASCAR the bad name that it's just for rednecks, hillbillies, trailer park trash, and which it's kind of crazy because when you actually dive. I'll nerd out a little bit. When you actually dive deep into how these racers actually, everything between gauging how much fuel they have because they don't actually have really much of a fuel thing. They actually calculate everything, their tires, the wind draft, like everything between the spotter. It's a pretty sophisticated fucking sport that never ends. It's actually pretty crazy.
Right. It's it's evolving with technology. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get these knuckleheads these waterheads that come out there with their Confederate flag, making it so it's like trying to make it like a white only sport, it gives the sport a bad name. Well, as most of you all already know, NASCAR went above and beyond to make sure that NASCAR is above that. So much so that they've been standing by all their racers, but also getting rid of saying there will be no Confederate flags on these races, meaning every race they go to, there will be no Confederate flags anywhere, not out in the where everyone's tailgating. We're getting rid of it altogether.
Well,
you had two reactions. You had Southerners that were like, you had race car fans that, well, this is the death of NASCAR and blah 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 and boycott NASCAR, which I'm like, go on, Junior, you'll be all right. And then you have something like, fuck yeah, like, and I was on the fuck yeah side. I'm like, hell yeah, that's a smart move. Like, I think it's far too long we've been letting, people, and I was explaining to a buddy of mine who's not as, sophisticated as I am, that how would you feel if you knew that's, your people came from being shipped over here and you're always having to see a flag of people who wanted to make sure you stayed in bonds. I said, I'd be kind of pissed at seeing it too. I got it, First Amendment, but, I'm good with NASCAR going, hey, we're an independent private organization. Bye-bye.
Right.
None of those flags here.
Right.
Well, we have, and then so later, I think it's like a week or two, a race or two later, the only black driver, Bubba Wallace, is actually a really good driver, had a good race today. Wore "I Can't Breathe" shirt, and actually did I think it was black. Made his car a Black Lives Matter car, and it was great. Got a lot of great response, especially from his own drivers in this NASCAR series, except for one waterhead in a fucking in some D League who said, "Oh, I'm going to retire. This is NASCAR like," and then NASCAR clapped back was like, "We don't even know. We had to look who you
like Thanos. I don't even know who you are."
I don't even know who you are. Like, which I'm like, good. The trash is gonna get out. Bubba Wallace is not only a good driver, but he's a class act too. And he wore that. He stood for the national anthem. He drove. He didn't have a really good race that race. So then leading up to Talladega, which was supposed to happen yesterday, but unfortunately some rain out down south. Not so much racing. But on Saturday when they were doing their pit stop, when they were doing all their qualifying, something tragic, or not tragic, despicable. A noose was found in the garage of Bubba Wallace at Talladega Speedway in Lincoln, Alabama on Sunday, less than 2 weeks after Wallace, who is NASCAR's only black driver, successfully pushed the stock car racing series to ban the Confederate flag at its tracks and facilities. So NASCAR came out late this afternoon, so this Sunday. NASCAR was made aware that a noose was found in his garage stall of the 43 team. We are angry and outraged and cannot state strongly enough how seriously we are taking this heinous act. NASCAR said in a statement, "We have launched an immediate investigation and will do everything that we can to identify the person or persons responsible and eliminating them from the sport."
Good.
Now, here's the thing. This was a very limited access spot. So it had to be a driver, not pointing fingers, just saying, a driver, some kind of staff, or one of the pit crew or somebody on the team. So it's very limited limited option who it could be. And it was pretty, it's pretty despicable to do that.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That nobody was around when this happened. You know what I mean? Nobody was. Hey, caller, hang on. We're letting. You know what? Fuck it. Let me see. It's probably gonna be about.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Okay. What's up? Let's see. Hang on for a sec. WTF Nation Radio, you on the air?
Hey, Flash. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up? Is this Doc?
Yeah, it's Doc.
Okay, Doc. What? Go ahead. You realizing you're being broadcasted live? I'm just go ahead. Go for it.
Roger that. I'm from the northeast corner of Tennessee. I live 7 miles from Bristol International Raceway, who was bought out by Bruton Smith, real rich guy, bought out Atlanta and stuff. Flash, well, let's get something first. It's not the rebel flag. It's not the Confederate flag. It's the Confederate battle flag.
Okay, it's the stars and bars, right? But we're
it's the loser flag.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, it doesn't. No, right. But Doc, it's almost like when you bring that argument up, nobody really does care when it comes to this. About what it's called. Everybody knows. They damn well know what it means. It means something that is used primarily in those type of venues when it comes to fucking race. Do you have any idea, by you saying that, it's just kind of like, well, that's the Confederate battle flag of the 45th Regiment of, you know what I mean? We know
that's what having people fly like the alternative flags and go, that's not the Nazi flag.
It's not the Nazi flag. Yeah, that's one flag of the Nazis, even though it's not a Nazi flag.
Of a fake country that got its ass kicked.
Okay, go ahead, Doc. We'll let you talk. Go for it.
You look at those uneducated people, and you tell them that the statue of Buddha has that on his stomach, and it means good luck and good fortune.
Right. But Buddha was something.
I don't remember Buddha had stars and bars.
Yeah, but Buddha. I'm gonna tell you what. People actually believe in fucking Buddha. Yeah, Buddha has been enduring and has been, pretty much existential throughout people's lifetime. Man, we're talking about something that didn't even last. Matter of fact, one of my marriages lasts longer than the fucking Confederacy. You know what I mean? So
4 years,
something like that. 5-6 years, something like that.
What's the difference in someone having a Confederate battle flag versus someone painting their car completely black and saying Black Lives Matter? Not all lives matter, not NASCAR fans matter, but Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so I'll address that.
Go for it, Flash.
We're not splitting hairs.
Go for it. If you Doc, if you're gonna ask a question, you gotta let us answer the question. Go for it.
When was the last time anyone flew a Black Lives Matter flag and was trying to keep bondage of a whole race of people? When did that happen? Was that granted Seattle's a little fucked up kind of right now, and I kind of take them out the equation because they're just like, I think that's like crazy neoliberal folks that are just taking advantage of the situation. But I'm just saying, you've got the yes, and I understand the history of the rebel flag that actually wasn't flown in battle, but it's a representation of the Confederacy. The Confederacy that, while we can argue semantics of states' rights, and I got that as a proud Southerner, but that state right that was the tipping point was slavery. If slavery had died out in 5 or 6 years, had the Confederacy not fired on Fort Sumter, probably would have, but it didn't. And they said, no, we want the North out of here, and we want to keep our states' rights, which mostly in whole because they were agricultural and they're making a shit ton of money selling all the agricultural stuff to Europe, who would have went on their side if they would have got rid of slavery, but they didn't. They said, this is our states' rights, and that was bondage of a whole race of people. While that flag did not actually get flown in a battle, and I understand that, it is a representation of a system of government and a system of thinking that would keep slavery still going. And as much as, I didn't care about it so much when I was younger, as I got older and I knew more people, thanks to the Army, and I understood how people see these things, it's the same thing in Richmond where I have a person who I was actually going to support for governor of Virginia, is all up in arms that they want to get rid of the General Lee flag. And my wife was even like, well, it's just a statue. I said, yes. I said, how would you feel being, somebody, because many people in our country now are descendants of people who were in bondage, that if you come to the state capitol, at least in Virginia, and you're seeing a man who, yes, while served honorably in the U.S. uniform, said, one, fuck it, I'm going to fight for the Confederacy. Apparently you didn't have slaves. Doesn't matter. He still fought for the state rights to have slaves, but then decided to turn around and fight some of the same people he led in battle. As an American soldier, that's bullshit. That's like having fucking Patton turn around and fight for the Russians and fight us. It's just not going to happen. So I get it.
Okay.
The Confederate flag, the rebel flag, it needs to go. If you want to fly, like in Spotsylvania County, if you're on 95 and you're driving down that way, there's a giant flag, a giant Stars and Bars flag, and a lot of people tried getting rid of it, but you can't because it's on private property. They tried getting rid of the pole because they're like, oh, it breaks the, it should be too high, but it doesn't. So they even try to change the statute for it, and they can't because he'd still be grandfathered in. And you know what? If he wants to do it on private property, by all means, he can fly it. I don't have to like it, but he can still do it because it's private property. These NASCAR races are no longer private property. So if NASCAR will pull their say, we're not gonna drive there, and I think that's the smart move. So guess what? If you're not on private property, your First Amendment rights for that don't work.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What you're calling the Stars and Bars to me is the first national flag. Red, white, red, has a blue circle up in you with 13 stars. Or because the Confederate battle flag is red with the blue X in it, that was the battle flag. That was always on the battlefield. Let me ask you a question. How did we take a blue and white flag that belonged to Scotland? I mean, it has 13 stars on it.
Doc, you're going so deep in this, man, that you're why the whatabouts and all that, bro. To me, the way I see it is that
my great grandfather was a veterinarian. He was with the 19th Tennessee Cavalry, taking care of his horses.
Okay.
Taking care of the horses.
Okay.
Now let me ask you a question, Ice.
Go for it.
We're talking about Black Lives Matters. We are talking about an organization who our president says is a terrorist organization. Yet they can drive a fucking car around a racetrack.
Okay. You're missing so you're missing because you're talking about semantics though, man. You're missing the point. You just sat there and said yourself about the symbolism of the Stars and Bars and try to legitimize what you just said about what all that means because you had somebody related to you that was in in that regiment that did that. You took care of some horse. You're a vet for horses. So you want me to believe and accept? No, you're right. But you want me to believe? No, Doc, you want me to believe that, and you want me to have that legitimized, but you want to delegitimize a movement. You know, it doesn't matter. Like you just said. You just did. You just said. Why are we?
So we don't. You don't have somebody with cancer say, "Man, I got pancreatic cancer. I hope everyone, people donate to that cancer." And then I'll be like, "Hey, all cancer research matters."
Yeah, all cancer patients suck.
Currently, right now, the black community, they feel marginalized. They feel that the systematic racism, whether you believe it or not. But you do have to look at and people are like, oh, well, the police kill more white people than black people, but there's shit ton more white people, so I guess the numbers are kind of fucked off.
You know what I understand is where was this all?
Yes, not all Black Lives Matter folks are out there for the common good, and just like in every community, there's always a group of people who are trying to take things like look at Seattle. Trying to take the Black Lives Matter and defund the police or whatever their particular that day. And I find you can have that. You already have those people who are going to douchebags like that. But then when you have people like Bubba Wallace there who is trying to bring attention, especially to an audience that is probably tuned out from the Black Lives Matter. That would be the predominantly white audience of NASCAR. That he's trying to bring attention that guess what? We have a problem in our family. Oh, we have a problem in this country. Now, if my little sister comes up and goes, man, I have a problem, we're going to go, hey, all siblings matter. No, we're going to take care of that problem. Right now, the problem is here. While I don't always agree 100% with everything Black Lives Matter activists are trying to get, but I have to understand that they see a problem, they feel marginalized, and guess what? The police being defunded is not the worst thing in the world. And I'm not going to be mad at Black Lives Matter for standing up and making a ruckus, because that's what has to fucking happen to make anything happen in this country. So yes, if people are that mad at a sport for banning, saying, hey, on our property, not your own property, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But on our property, you cannot fly the Confederate flag or the rebel flag or the stars and bars just because they share the same fucking color as the Betsy Ross's flag doesn't make them the same thing. So we're not going to play that game.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're
pretty next caller because we're not going to get the
Go ahead, Doc.
Question.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking about the generally and jumping and I'm saying that an organization that's going on a public street painting BLM, and I'm.
How do you know it's them doing it? How do you know it's them doing it?
It's in the same category.
How do you know it's them doing it?
That was DC. That was the DC mayor who authorized it.
It's in the same category as Al Qaeda and the Taliban because our commander-in-chief says they're a terrorist organization.
This is something. This is something.
Can barely drink bottled water without choking on it. Like, I'm not too worried about what he designates one thing or another.
All right, hey Doc.
There's our commander-in-chief who made Mad Dog like pissy at him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, Doc.
Good conversation, guys.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey, I appreciate it. May not agree with him, but at least he's sticking with what his line of thinking is, and I am not mad at him. Well, a little.
Right.
We do have and maybe it's me because I have my wife is kin to General Sherman. Even though I am even though I'm a Southerner on my other half, on my dad's half, my great grandfather fought for the Union Army, the New York Volunteers, but I still need to look it up because it's part of my history. I've lived, as a Southerner with Northern root. I'm a contradiction, but what matters is we have an issue, and part of our family feels that this issue is disproportionately affecting them. I applaud NASCAR. And somebody did bring up in the chat that, sounds like a Jesse Smollett situation. And you know what? If it is, you're going to hear me on here going, fuck that guy, and I was wrong. But they're bringing in the FBI. I didn't get to that part of the article, but the FBI is actually looking at it because it is considered a hate crime. And if it was Bubba Wallace, I think he needs to be drummed out of the sport, and he's going to take the fucking activism in NASCAR a step back. But if it wasn't, that person needs to fucking go to jail. But anyway.
Okay, so we're gonna take
what they're supposed to. I applaud them for it.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break right quick, and then we'll be waiting for for our guest coming up. Wayne Carr-Maiden. He's going to be calling up in about 5 minutes. So while we're doing that, you guys listen to it. And are you going to chats? Because in the
I want to hear from this guy.
All right, so y'all stand by, and then we'll be right back. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Take a look inside your life. Is it so bad? Is this where you draw the line? 'Cause it's so sad. Tell me where you lost your faith. Is it so bad? Couldn't see it in your face. And it's so sad. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. While you keep it in your head, is it so bad? Never heard a word you say it. come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Is it what you want? Is it what you needed now? Is it what you breathe? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you feel? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you wanted? I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Hello, hello, you. Will you come back down to me? Hello, hello, you. Will you come back down? Hello, hello, you. Won't you come back down to me? Hello, hello, you.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Real quick, tell us about it. Well, first off, let me just play this video. I know you don't want to. You don't want to hear about too many. I'm going to play a video right now, and everyone's going to be seeing the video, and we'll just talk through it. And it is crazy because it was during the protest, and the video's playing right now. And you were literally in front of everybody. Well, from what we see, in front of everybody, just dude, looked like you were fucking in charge, man. You look like you were like hey Sard, you were like the boss. So tell us what happened. What I mean, first off, you were there, and then so what happened?
So basically, it's what I keep telling people is I have like this split. What do you call like straddling the fence type situation going on, because I love everybody that I met in the military.
Right.
The military changed my life. I have good friends still in the military.
Right.
People who actually vouched for me so I could actually return back to the military. So
right.
Like, it changed my life. So I had to like do something, because the protesters that was there were like really, really getting aggravated and rowdy, and like they were saying some things that like it just made me like uncomfortable to hear them say some things. Even though I'm African American and I do support the cause and everything, but it's just like, the whole military thing stuck with me. The whole having integrity and doing the right thing, it was crazy like that.
So when you did this, you had literally, did you know you were being recorded at all?
No, I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know I was like this video right here. So I had, what was it? Later on after, what's his name? Griff Jenkins from DC Fox 5.
Right.
He interviewed me afterwards. That's the only like video that I thought was, going to probably circulate. But this video, my friend actually tagged me and was like, "Bro, is this you?" And I was like, "What?"
Did you? I mean, what was their reaction when you? I mean, you just walked up, just some dude. Just, I mean, I don't know if I. You know, I was in the military, so I know some dude, civilian, just started walking up to my.
Like they're all just listening. Like
Right.
They're all like making these adjustments as you're speaking to them. Was that kind of the case?
So yeah, they were right. So basically, what was going on? I had talked to them previously. Like I talked to literally, like I was out there for hours and hours. I talked to everybody previously. I said, I used to be one of y'all. I didn't complete this. Okay, let me get this part out. I didn't finish AIT, so I was supposed to be sent back to retrain, but I ended up just getting out. And they said they was gonna give me another try. So right now I'm in the process of losing weight. So I can.
Hey, we got you, man. We're yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got that. We're gonna get your story in a minute. We just wanted to. I mean, we don't normally pre-position questions when we ask people because we just want you to feel like you can be comfortable to talk to us.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead.
Basically, when I was talking to them, and I was like, some of the guys are like rowdy, and I don't like what they're gonna like, what they're saying, and like the water that they're throwing at you. You don't know what liquid is in there. So I was like, I'm gonna try to like deflect as much as possible and make sure y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Without having the crowd turn on me. That's what I kept telling them. I was like having a little fun so they can boost their, team morale and stuff like that. Because a lot of them seem really, really, really like down, and you could just tell in their faces. You know how it is. Like,
right.
Like I kept saying, you gotta embrace the suck. Don't look down. You're here for a reason. Try to embrace them. So when I was telling them close the gaps, that's when the protesters that was on my side was getting really, really rowdy, like throwing objects, water. So I'm like, close the gaps, because clearly it's a gap open.
Right.
If you get hit inside your head, then it's a problem. It's going to get really, really aggressive. I was there on the first night when the protest started happening, and like I'm telling you, Secret Service agents, U.S. Park Police agents, they were going down like flies. They were going down like flies. And I'm like, yeah, close them gaps.
So did it look like to you? I mean, do you want what these guys were? Were these guys with the DC Guard, or they were the
okay?
Who were they?
So that's the confusion. I was telling the news anchor that I used to be DC National Guard. Those people right there specifically weren't DC National Guard. Those were like a mix between California National Guard and I believe South and North Carolina National Guard.
Did they at all tell you, hey, look, dude, what are you doing? Or like, did anybody in charge, any NCOs say, hey, who are you and what are you doing? And what was the because there's people that like you looked at one dude and you go no, you need to go back, and the other guy goes roger that, and he like listen to you.
One of the things, all right, so in the video, like a lot of people on Twitter had pointed out to me, they was like, yeah, it was like some 3-star general, some like sergeant majors on Twitter that pointed out to me. They was like, I like how you gave back command to the staff sergeant. It's because while I was telling them close the gaps, I ran into their staff sergeant who was telling them to peel away slowly, right? And they were like kind of distracted listening to me because I guess kind of I was right, but at the same time, the real NCO, he was trying to tell them to peel so they can make the, there's a confusing like situation there. So I was like, yeah, listen to your staff sergeant. I tried to like change commands right there for a second.
I just because I was looking at it, I honestly thought that you were like a vet on. Well, I knew you were probably either a veteran or you had probably were like on leave. You know what I mean? Like you just like got yourself caught up in it, and I just. When you started going off, bro, I was like, "Oh shit! Here we go. We got Big Sarge here, in friggin', in the middle of these riots and stuff. Probably just walking by, seeing what's up. Now, you're tell us about yourself. Like, where are you from originally?
I'm from Washington D.C.
So you are from the D.C. metro area, then?
Yeah, not Maryland, not Virginia. I'm literally born and raised D.C.
Okay, and then you said you started off your career. And what was your MOS? I mean, what can you give us a walk of your military status?
So the MOS that I was supposed to obtain was 25 uniform signal support specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to be a commos guy, but signal school was a little bit boring and hard for me. So,
dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Yeah, you got, if you don't get them certs, they don't walk you through it. They actually, you know, you got to get certs for some of the stuff that you got to do for signal support.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
it
was crazy.
Right. And so how long ago was that?
That was, I got out in 2016, but because I was DC National Guard, I got a little bit more time under my belt than everybody else because, you know, when you join the National Guard, you enlist,
right?
Not like active,
right?
I joined in October 2014.
Okay, so then you went in the Guard, then you went to AIT, and then of course but you're still good on paper though, right? You haven't, other than honorable and stuff like that. Okay,
yeah, it's actually it's a general under honorable.
Honorable conditions. Okay, yeah, okay. Now I have people that are listening right now that are from recruiters. You know, the Recruiter Times is in our chat. Yeah. So at any time, you know, just drop us a message, and you can hit them up. We can help you out too.
Cool. That'll be like crazy. That'd be amazing.
Do you have so do you want to come back active duty? You want to join the Army and come back?
Definitely. I want to go active duty, man. It's been too much stuff happening in the civilian world, man. I was definitely letting go back. So actually, I'm losing weight to go back.
Okay, cool. How old are you right now?
25.
Oh, you got plenty of time, man. Plenty of time. Now, so real quick, now we were having a conversation about this whole stuff, and we wanted to get your take on it, man. I mean, what was happening? What were you there? I mean, you were there just to show up. Were you there for the movement? Were you there? What was your reasons for being there?
So I was there for the movement because I was there like literally the first night DC had like its protest and stuff, and I was there for the good side and like the bad side. Like before, right. I'm sure you heard about all the gates that's blocking the White House and stuff.
Yep.
I was there before the gates were up. Like it was just Secret Service pointing lights at us and stuff like that.
Right.
Like for the good part, I'm all for it, you know what I'm saying? Peaceful protest and stuff like that. But for the, like, when I was talking to the night side of the protest, their reason for, like, their reason for, like, being a little bit more aggressive towards the situation is literally night and day. Like, it's the difference between Martin Luther King and, like, Malcolm X. Like the day side is going to be more peaceful protest, non-violent, but the night side, they feel like without chaos you can't have like some type of order, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So did you have at least some I mean, there had to have been some individuals that were there that were kind of like overdoing it, that you kind of say, hey man, you need to chill. Did you have any of those guys, any fringe people that try to come in and interfere with it? From your side, from what you saw?
With the rowdy
protesters? Yeah,
I was one of them. that's mainly like seriously, like so it was wait, do y'all cuss on this radio?
You can say what the fuck you want, bro.
All right, so look, check this out. So it was literally like three, I call them like the OGs of the street. It was like three of them. Before I like started interfering, they were right there. Like I'm talking like sergeant first class type of dude, a sergeant major type of dude, because he's old and he looks like one of those like get off my lawn type dudes. And it was like, I say like another dude who would be like an equivalent to another like sergeant first class. So like if these guys was in the military, they would be senior enlisted, and they were going hard on that freaking line. They were like, look at you fat fuck! I bet you still can't even do your PT test.
So they were the agitators then.
Damn. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the agitators.
There saying like it was another dude there saying like he was going to like do stuff to them like they were in jail, and I was like, oh my god! Like when I say they were agitators, like they literally like I watched them make like 5 people cry, and like the staff sergeant, captain, and LTs and stuff that was in the back, they was pulling soldiers from the front and replacing them with other soldiers to man the shield. And I was like, bro, this is crazy, bro. So I was like, I had looked at one of the sergeant first class, and I was like, I'm gonna try to get them off the people on the line and like make, you know how they make jokes about the officers, how they
Of
never
course.
do no work. So I was like,
Right.
I said, hey,
we were just talking about officers. We were just talking about officers earlier not working.
yeah. I was like, no. I said, hey, y'all don't need to be yelling at the front people. They only privates. Why y'all trying to make them fall back?
Right.
I said, you should go after the officers right there. So I say something, the sergeant started smirking and stuff. I'm like, look, watch this. So I would have them like follow the officers around because they're way like, honestly, like they're disciplining, like ignoring what the protesters were saying.
Right.
Like security. I've never seen this before.
Right.
Like,
did it
think nobody's talking to them.
Right. I was about to say, did you were they interacting with you like when you were talking to them at least in some of the spots while you were, you know, throughout the protest? Was there people talking to you saying, "Hey man, how you doing"? Was it kind of cool? Like they were kind of like being cool with you?
Literally everybody, but it's only after I started saying stuff like look at this guy down there. Like I would point to one of the protesters. I said, look, see on the outside, he high speed. I would say like military terms, or I'd be like, I'm one of y'all, whore. And then start acknowledging me, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, just here to like make y'all like laugh a little bit. Don't get offended by what they saying. They're angry right now. They try and fight for their cause. So, and some of them will respond back like, yeah, man, I understand, bro. Like that's why we fighting for the country so they can have the right to protest. I was like, exactly.
So you were, oh wow, okay. So right, I was about to say, so you had some people within the ranks kind of raise up with you, kind of like, hey, yeah, we know what you're going through. We know what it's about. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It was when I first got there, the line was way up in the streets.
Right.
And when I first got there, it was literally a whole line of freaking special forces unit soldiers, and they like were talking to me. So it was like, I was like, wow. I seen those the lightning rod and the sword.
Oh yeah.
Patches on both sides.
Yep.
So I was like, oh yeah, y'all badass. They started laughing.
Well, yeah, they had some elements from special forces units were out there that support. Did you feel at all like, hey, this shit's gonna get? Did you feel like in danger at all? Did you feel like it was gonna get too crazy? Like what was your overall sense of the authority side, like the police? Not so much because I mean, obviously you build a rapport with the military, but what about the cops? What were you kind of worried about the cops and shit? I mean,
no. So this is the difference. This is like the perfect platform to say this. This is the difference between like DC cops and like other state cops. Like their like rules and engagement, how they like go about stuff is like different from how the other states go. Like DC cops are more like personal. Like they're more in their neighborhoods with it. Like, you know, they're more local. So a lot of them like either know us, seen people like that they put in jail a lot of times for little like petty crimes, and then they got out. They're talkative. They're not really worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying? The people who are like worried, who don't know the DC citizens and stuff like that, are the guys that you see on TV, because the people they had out there like guarding the streets were ATF, FBI, DEA. Those guys know nothing about none of us. They probably barely get out their office. They're probably in like another state, busting in doors. They don't know us. So like they're looking at us differently. You know what I'm saying? It was DC lieutenants and captains walking around the streets. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even think they had a vest on because their shirt was so ate up. But
right. Did they?
Like, they were chilling.
Did you have anybody from the DC, like, you know, any DC politicians, anybody from our government come out to kind of like say, hey man, y'all need to chill, or was it just like they just let you kind of be?
Nah, yeah, they let me be. They were when I was talking to one of the special forces soldiers, one of the lieutenants had came up and was sitting there listening to me talk to them, and he was like, hey man, and I was like, he's like, I like what you're doing. I was like, oh yeah, hey, I didn't know he was right there. He's like, hey, let me get through this, make a hole for me so I can get through, and we finished talking. So it was pretty.
Did now what does your family think? Did you have, you know, what's your parents and your family think when they saw you doing that on because you they kind of, everyone was like going, whoa. I think you had I think it was you and your cousin that was talking to Fox News National, like the big Fox News?
Nah, I don't even know the guy. I just had Okay, so previously, me and him had gotten into a debate because he's from like, all right, I come from the rough part of town, and
Right.
he's from that rough part of town. So his like outlook on a lot of stuff, people who come from that background, like I was saying, like me before I joined the military,
Right.
people who come from that background look at this like, oh, this is a threat. They're trying to make us look, you know what I'm saying, embarrass us on national TV. They want to put this, what is it, stigma out.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
One
yeah.
side.
Oh no,
no.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly, especially coming from Fox News. You know, I got you.
Exactly. That's another thing. When they found out, because this is the thing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They told us. Now they had 4 bodyguards with them, contractors. We were topping it up. The bodyguards said they like what they saying. You know what I'm saying? I must be prior service. I was telling them my story too, but they said at the time they were CNN. And I was just like, what?
Wait, so the guys that were securing Fox News people and Fox News people were telling you that they were CNN.
Yeah, like some of the people were like, yeah, we're CNN, blah blah blah. And I had seen somebody with a CNN badge, so I'm like, is Fox under CNN? Because I didn't know until like it came up on the news that it was Fox, Big Fox.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Flash? You hear that?
Fox is getting called, man. I'm gonna.
Do you hear that, Fox? So
my next segment coming up.
I'm about to say
Fox News.
Fox News. So you didn't have like so it wasn't Sean Hannity with the disguise on. we clown everybody. So
Griff had told me he was Fox, but the everybody who was around him said they were CNN. But I think because the protesters kept like kind of like following me around,
right?
So I guess they were trying to like not get attacked. And there was a point where the guy who was beside me, he kept like putting his hand in the camera saying, "You're not going to record. You're not going to record." And like the bodyguards were like, "Bro, tell your bro that he has to stop doing that or else." And I was like, "Bro, you got to stop, bro. Like, you want camera time too? Come on."
Right. Right. You know that we talked about that, throughout, and we get comments about left and right about, and it kind of, I wanted the conversation to go and all this. With this being, I mean, this is just me and Flash talking. This has been a coming event for a long time. This is like brewing. This has been, to me, this just straight the fuck up.
Right.
So is it all of a sudden crazy that motherfuckers like to throw out the all lives matter shit now? Well, I mean, like I said, you feel free to say whatever you want, bro, and we're not gonna hold. I personally don't like it when people say that shit. So I'm just wondering. I mean, your own take about it.
I mean, me and my girlfriend talk about this all the time. I don't really like I don't know. I've been seeing it pop up like now, like as far as the I guess like people are labeling them racist and saying like all lives matter. I've been seeing a lot of them pop up, and it's like, you know.
No, I hear you. No, I got you. No, I don't see it like that. I mean, because personally, when I hear you say Black Lives Matter, I say Black Lives Matter. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it does not bother me.
Right? You talking like because you're talking about this the thing when they say Black Lives Matter, right? They're talking about what's going on currently. You're seeing a lot of black people die at the hands of like police officers, and you know, it's a lot. Like in the news, when they showed in the news, it's a lot of African Americans dying. So it's like it's not a time for like all lives matter. We understand that everybody as a human.
Thank you.
Matters.
Thank you. See, Flash. That was it. See. I don't understand why everyone gets the ass about this shit, bro. It's just this...
Yeah, and that was exactly like we were having a conversation, kind of talking about Black Lives Matter movement, along with more focusly on what's happening in sports with Bubba Wallace and stuff like that. And that's something that I've because I have some slightly ignorant people in my family. I'm sure they don't listen to the show, and there's some people just don't understand, like, our families, one part of our family is in trouble. It's okay to focus on them. It's not saying, hey, only black people matter, everyone else go the fuck home. It's saying, hey guys, we have a piece of our family's in trouble. Let's deal with this issue so then we can all be happy and then just be disgruntled at other countries instead of fucking with ourselves.
Right, exactly. And this is the thing. People need to realize, that it's up to the newer generations, like people, like probably in 30s and below, to like change that whole idea of like the race issues and stuff like that. The real race issues were happening when the older people, were younger. They the ones, that's the generations that like started that stuff.
Right.
It's up to us to all like,
of course,
change.
Yep.
It can only be changed by everybody else coming up and just getting along together.
But I don't.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It has to be.
Just
like civil rights movement was a team effort. When people started getting the right thinking behind them, this is the same thing. We've never been close. We've never been there. We've always been on the cusp of being there. But it takes brave. I tell people, be brave. You gotta be brave and stand up for what's right. And if you see something that's a disparaging between one community against another, then something needs to be done, or else you're just being ignorant. And there's something that, while I hate some of my white brethren that go a little too like up the wall crazy and stuff like that. But like, there's one sign I saw.
So I think me and Wayne here are gonna help listen to you, bro. What's up?
There's one sign I saw that said "white silence, equals white violence," and I looked at that and I was like, I get it, and it's exactly right, because this isn't just, this is a movement of the entire family's got to be in this movement. And I love what you did. I love the fact that you're making sure these guys are doing the right thing, and kind of keeping that level and talking, and that's what needs to happen, because I always feel bad for these National Guard folks, because they're just out there. And, half of them are just like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, this is just, all of a sudden this happened. And it's always good to have some, some cool heads. But, what you did, it was absolutely awesome. I'm very proud of our National Guard folks, because they're just trying to do the best they can. Because, a lot of these folks these are their neighbors. And this is part of this state's part of their family. And, this is tough times for everyone. But we gotta all have to, step up and do the right thing.
So your family, what'd your parents think? What'd your immediate family? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 8 brothers and sisters altogether. Altogether, I think it's 9 of us. They saying they were excited that I was on TV. And I'm getting like a lot of like publicity, because I already have this, like, my brother is like a local celebrity rapper. Like, he's verified on Instagram and everything. So, like, they're like, oh, my goodness, we got 2 superstars in the family. So, it's like, and my mentor and, like, my parents and stuff, they're, like, well connected with, like, people high up. So, like, when they seen it, they were like, oh, my goodness, I'm so proud of you. Started sharing it. Like, these are people, like, with verified accounts. So, like, they're real cautious of what they post because they're public figures. And when I see myself posting on their page, I was like, oh, man. I must have really did something to get posted on here.
Right.
Everybody, they're happy. So.
And your parents, but I mean, come on, I mean, your mom. I know your mom's like. I mean, of course. I mean, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
I would be the same way too.
She's like, "What's going on? Why are you on the internet?"
I'm telling you, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't. This does not. I don't know. Maybe just I see things different or something like that, or maybe just I don't know. I don't. I think it's good. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm glad the movement's happening. I'm glad things like you were saying. There's some people that agitate it. That the bad side about it, but there's also there's a reason why it's happening. I don't blame you at all, man. I really don't blame you at all to make sure that. I mean, this is from what it looked like from my. I'm a retired sergeant major, so. If you look, if I look at this, it looked like to me that you were making sure your teammates, in uniform, were good to go. I mean,
exactly.
And that's all you were. That's what it looked like to me, and not to mention the fact that you were probably. I would have been me because I'm out. I'm retired. I'd probably been with you clowning about no PT belts or some shit. You know what I mean? I'd have been like. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't see anything wrong with that. So, what's been the military side? I mean, because I know you're talking about us and we, but what anybody from the military, any notables? Because I think didn't you have somebody come out and say hi to you, or didn't you meet somebody? Did you meet anybody
in the military while I was out there?
Yeah, while you were doing all that stuff.
Nah, no. I was when I had did the what is it podcast? No, I did somebody wrote about me. I forgot who it was because it's been like 3 interviews that happened, so it's like been crazy. But
right, I bet
he asked for like a brief bio. Oh, it was Paul. I forgot his last name. It was Paul something from one of the. Oh, from Task and Purpose.
Yeah, Paul Zoldra.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
It's Paul Zoldra. Yeah, it was Paul Zoldra. Yeah. We work a lot together. So anytime that's been that there's something going on like this, like for instance, like the night you did that and all that stuff, we compare notes. So anytime I'm like, dude, and then as soon as I saw that story up, that's when we're like, we got to get this kid on, man. We got to get this, we got to get this kid. So
yeah, like when I was,
Go ahead.
When I was in the Army, I got out early, so I was still like a private and stuff. But when I got out, I was like one of those high speed soldiers and like superstar. I get along with everybody, even like people of higher rank that I'm not supposed to be getting along because it's straight up. Like I get along with everybody, and I met a lot of people. That's what Paul was covering in his article. I met Sergeant Major Daly. I met a lot of people, General Grass of the National Guard Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
I was cool with. Before I went to the Army, I was in the National Guard program for troubled youth.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Challenge Academy. And
ooh, tell us about that.
The Challenge Academy. So basically, each state, well, most states, like 43, has a Challenge Academy, and it's this basically save like troubled youth.
Right.
Who don't finish high school, or like parents die, anything that's troubling, like come from low poverty neighborhoods. And I had already came from a public military school, so I came from Forsman Military Academy. The commandant was retired General Freeman, Major General Freeman. He was the old DC National Guard commander, and then I went to the Challenge Academy and became like a superstar over there, and got close to Major General Swartz, who was at the time the current head of the DC National Guard. And then from there, like just me knowing people and making a name for myself, it just went up, and that's when I ended up joining the DC National Guard. And like when I got to the big army,
right? So we got a picture of you with Sergeant Major of the Army. Is that a picture of you with Sergeant Major of the Army dealer right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got ways, bro. We got ways. I mean, so what was that? What were you meeting him for? Everyone says he's our admin, right? Everyone thinks he's one of the admins on WTF. So, what were you meeting him for?
So, well, I was a youngin', so I had got married when I was in the military. So my
you ain't gotta tell me, bro. I got more ex-wives than boots, bro. So go ahead. Go.
So my ex-wife, she was a part of the old guard,
right?
Fort Myer, and they were like, I got him. She was a superstar soldier too, so she was like, I got invited to the Sergeant Major's house, and she's like, I know you want to come. I was like, heck yeah, I want to come. What? So I went and like we shook hands, and this is the first time. I never thought that studying would pay off when I was like, well, at least like not in this way when I was in the Army. We used to stare in AIT. We used to stare at the wall like, oh my goodness, who is the Sergeant Major, Trade Doc,
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. I popped up at Sergeant Major Daly house and everybody who's on that wall is there. So I know everybody in front of me, and they're like real, like, they're real, like, chill, laid back because they're off work. So it was cool meeting them. I got a coin out of it and everything.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're getting to the gist of. Okay, so now this is all said and done. Now you're becoming internet social media famous. Right now you're broadcasting on 14 different platforms right now. So your face, your video, you are being on right now. It's all over Twitter. It's all over YouTube. It's all over Mixer. It's all over Facebook. So now, and this is going to be podcasted and uploaded up to Apple Podcasts and Google Play. Now, the big question is that so what's next? Are you really gonna join the Army? Do you really still want to join the Army, or do you want to hit like the movement segment? You know what I mean? To be a spokesman or something like that. What do you want to do?
I'm definitely trying to go back to the military. I still have like, it's still people on like, you know, I told you I come from like the slum side of town.
Right.
There's still people on my side of town who really like looked up to me, especially when I joined the military. So I'm trying to be like, you know, a mentor in everybody's lives. To
Nothing
try
wrong
to
with
make
that.
better.
There's nothing
like a
wrong
lot
with
of
that.
people wanted to join the military just because I went. So.
Oh wow, that's what I'm talking about. So what is your what do you want to do when you come back in?
So apparently, I heard that because I'm coming back because I'm considered prior service.
Right.
They have to choose the job for me, but I'm open to do anything. You know, this my
Public
second
affairs.
chance.
I'm about to say public affairs, bro.
For real?
You could. Why don't you come in public affairs? I mean, try to shoot something like that because Flash is public affairs. You know, and you. Here's the thing, you have a presence about you, man, and this right here. I don't want to say that this is the sound that we really need to have a to have someone be. I don't want to say the poster boy. I don't say, but you motivate. I mean, you're a motivator. You know what I mean? That's the type of enthusiasm we need to have coming in. You went through training. You didn't make the training, but you still kept your positive attitude about it. You didn't. You know,
and at least I graduated basic.
yeah, right, exactly. You graduated basic. It just. I'm gonna tell you what. Everyone's because I was listening to this. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for everybody to talk shit about him not making it to the. Dude, you were smart enough to get that. That's a hard fucking course to do. I mean, you were right on that. Like you were saying, it may be some boring stuff, but that 25, all that commo signal, computer whiz certifications.
Bro, like I literally, like the thing that got me the field was my last class called Tim's. I literally failed my last class. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, everyone thinks that. I mean, aside from a couple of, but commo nowadays, it's new. This is new commo. This is not.
Yeah.
This ain't no TA312s and working with the old PRC 77s that I worked with back in the day. This is like legit shit. So, hey, recruiter, be Army mandates that not USAREC. Okay, commo. What was your? No, I'm reading in the chats right now because we got people talking and asking questions. Recruiter Times, do you think he's got a shot? Can you be able to hook him up and see what's going on? Because we could get you. Because we're thinking about doing recruiting drives, man. I mean, to get you. And you want to be the first one? Have you spoken to like Amuse? Do you know who Amuse is, right?
Amuse.
Amuse.
Oh, you saw Amuse the Facebook. Baby?
Yeah, the drill sergeant.
Nah, I haven't. I haven't talked to Drill Sergeant Amuse.
Okay, you did.
I haven't even like.
You did hit her up on her inbox, man. She comes on. She shoots the shit with us. I served with her before, back in the day. She's good people, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so and straight up, she's there in the recruiting realm, and maybe she can help you out. I mean, like I said, you can always hit us up, bro. You can always. You also got a following right now. Right now, there are people to include the Tradoc CG. Let me read what the commanding general of Tradoc said. He just wrote something right now. He wrote something that because I got this tweeted out. And he said, let's see, where is he at? Tradoc CG, and he hit the reply.
That's the DCG.
The DCG. I'm sorry. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. It's General Martin, the DCG. Tradoc said this.
Not the Funk. It's the Martin.
Yeah, it's the Martin. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's the Martin. He said that guy was awesome. Listen to your staff sergeant. It's like when I heard as a kid. To a bunch of other kids that don't be greedy on their way to the free breakfast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, that you have a lot of people. You have a lot of people, in your corner. So, dude, do not at all hesitate to hit anybody up. What do you want to? I mean, you said you might have to come in, and they're just telling you that you got it. There's no way because you're prior service.
It's just so. This the thing. So it was a lot of confusion at first because. I didn't finish AIT, but I was past my 180-day mark. So everybody was like so confused. And I was like stuck in a limbo. But did make it the MEPS, but they told me I had to lose 2% body fat. But that's only because I'm short.
Yeah.
As far as like running and everything, like I still run to this day and I outrun people. It's just my
So,
height and
but you know what? But you know we got COVID stuff going on, bro. We don't have to worry about that. But matter of fact, once you take a PT test and once you're good to go, it was like 2021, right? Flash, isn't that like 2021? You don't have to worry about PT test or something like that, or
only so if you have a record APFT, you're good to go. The ACFT won't be the will start in October, but if you fail, it won't matter as long as you have the record APFT. Dude, tell you what, work on your shoulders and your neck, and you're golden. As a fellow short guy who is built not to be the 189 that they want you to be for my particular height. Work on that neck. That if you can still outrun people, because I'm not advocating that all you fat body National Guard Reserve and active duty soldiers out there just like grow your neck, because I've seen a couple of you. I am saying that if you have that issue, like you still like I still run and I'm good. It's just I struggle with that too. Work on your neck, shoulder shrugs, heavyweight shoulder shrugs, stuff like that. Right. Military presses.
Hey, work on your diet a little bit, and you'll be good to go.
We're gonna get you there.
Yeah, we're gonna get you there, man. So you say you get back in. I mean, I know you want to choose your MOS. Like I said, if you got the scores and stuff to be at that commo MOS, what do you want to go for? What do you want to do? What's your warrior? I don't want to be all cheesy and shit, but what's your warrior? What do you want to do?
I never really thought about it outside of combos, because combos is like what I started to like towards the end. But I always wanted to end up back home, so I would probably try something in combos again. Because 25 uniform was basically doing all the combos job. They call it the jack of all trades, the master of none.
Right.
So it's like I would probably challenge myself and do combos again. Not even gonna lie. So I could probably end up with White House Communications or something.
Oh, okay. So you want to? I was about to say that then that would be that they're more high speed. They got like wicked ass equipment. The White House Communication guys.
I thought I was just gonna be taking down and putting up OE 254s or something. And then like when we got in the classroom and like they started like having us mess with battle systems and stuff, I was like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Well, cool. Hey, you got anything else anything you want to say to the masses out there? Because like I said, you got the world's your oyster right now, bro. So anything you want to say before we cut out?
Keep your head up, and as you know, they say, embrace the suck. You know?
All right, we got hey, hang on for a sec while we're after we're done here. We got Wayne Carr-Maiden. Thank you very much for coming back, for coming on to the show. And dude, you got to stay in touch with us, man. Okay. All right, man. So everyone, stand by. We're going to go on a break. I'm gonna shoot the shit with Wayne for a second, and then everybody, go ahead and get some shots and drink it up. Stand by. Shouts.
No show. Where I'm from, that's called a no clouds, looking up and fading out. Cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown. Nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life is never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Constellation theme, mapping stars they're meant to be. Geminis are free of suicidal kings. This misty maze of me, so obvious yet never seen. Feeling though the fog will lift to find me lost at sea. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life is never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Myself and I am so lost in miracle, far away from life. But I want your visible feeling to be mine. Oh, I just don't get it. When will your heart beat with my mind? Oh, I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life that's never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me?
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with part 2 of the Monday edition. Oh, man. That's an awesome guess. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. I always like the, I don't know. This is I think it's our first. We never had anybody protesting before as a guest, so this is kind of cool. Andy was a vet. And oh my God, I'm sorry. I gotta show the video, dude. That you guys don't remember that. If you guys don't remember the video, I'm sorry.
I mean, I love it because the
video is fucking hilarious.
He's taking charge. He's talking with his chest, and he's keeping these guys from they're the National Guard guys are doing the right things, and he's these protests are tough.
Yeah, dude. Look at that.
On all sides. There's people that just want out there and get their voices heard.
Right.
And there are instigators. There's also people on the police and the law enforcement side who just are are pent up and ready for a fight, and there's some are just like they're just trying to keep as many people okay and go home to their wives and husbands and kids and shit.
Right. I just, like I said, I'm just glad there was not in that event. I'm glad there was nobody hurt. I'm glad there was nobody. You know what I mean? There was no injuries. I'm glad nothing didn't have.
Definitely not the cases everywhere. Like,
right.
All across the country, it's in Dallas, in Atlanta, in Seattle. I mean, hell, anytime there are people out there in fucking in Washington State and fucking Oregon, they take these things to a whole new level. That's and I hear when Doc was on in the first hour and we were talking, Antifa was the one, and Spanky brought this up. Antifa was the one that the president said was deemed a domestic terrorist, and I can go with that, not Black Lives Matter. But when you look at the folks over there, especially what's happening in Washington, the autonomous zone, they're the ones that I talked about that tend to take the message of solidarity that, hey, we have an issue and we want to fix it,
right,
to fuck the government, fuck the police, fuck everybody, we can run ourselves, and first thing we do is throw up border walls.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There's the ones that make the movement that looks so bad. They make the movement look bad is by what they're doing right now, and it's kind of crazy. Everything that's happening, and the fact that the government out there just went, nah, fuck it, we'll deuce out. Good luck to you guys. It's like, I'm sorry, this is the fucking U.S. of A, and the last time we had someone have an insurrection, we fucked the hell out of them. So what are we doing here today?
My biggest thing is I want the protest to fucking happen, just like there'd be any other time to have a fucking protest as well. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with fucking protesting. I really. You notice there's been like a downturn in a lot of the violence because I don't know, or the agitators have been called out. That's the way I see it. And the way I see it is that if you don't agree with their fucking message is anybody's message, who fucking cares? It's their right to fucking protest. It has nothing.
I love how people are telling people how to protest.
Oh, that's something too. Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
I saw this meme and somebody was like, what's the proper way to protest? And they were like, not this, not this, not this. And it was like all the different ways that people have been protesting, by boycotting to kneeling or the flag, all these different things. It's like, and they wonder why, people are losing their minds. And, it's funny. I think more so now than in Ferguson, we're seeing more videos of the agitators, of the people who are causing, who are going around causing damage than we did before. And it's absolutely mind-blowing. There's one video that I saw where this white boy, all dressed in black, and you could tell he's white because, around his face up to his nose was, wasn't covered, but everything else was covered. And he's going around to this AutoZone, and he's smashing the windows.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
With like a hammer. And all these folks who were just you were there or like jumping and going, what the hell are you doing? And they end up running him out, even though he threatened to hurt them. And another one, I think it's at night. I believe it was in Texas and Dallas. I'm not 100%, but he's got a skateboard, which seems to be the weapon of choice at these days. And he's like going up and he's smashing these windows. And there's this young black woman with a megaphone trying to get people to stop. Because the people, I think there's people on the front lines that are trying to do their damnedest to get the message out without, letting lunatics just like destroy things. And I get it. There's a lot of pent up energy. I can't imagine how I'd feel if I felt that the police were targeting my skin color more than another just because I'm my skin color. I can imagine how to feel that way. And I think, especially with these younger kids that have been growing up and dealing with it, you can't be surprised when they I won't say let off steam in a light tone, but I will say that when they exert themselves angrily. But then there are those folks that are running out there just damaging things to damage things, burning things to burn things, burning down police departments and cars and stuff like that. And don't forget the kid who reached into a burning police car to pull out an AR and had that had the
veteran, the Marine Corps veteran.
Yeah, the vet who was I guess
security,
escorting the media, media folks, just like walked up and was like, give it.
Yeah, he just took it from because the kid pulled it out and fired 3 shots in the air. Yeah, that's what people aren't showing. Yeah, No, I'll be honest with you. I don't. The protesting, all that. Am I going to clown a couple of protesters for doing whatever? This isn't like a fucking. This isn't like we're talking about a fucking something that people are trying to protest something that is me. It's like not important. If you look at the situation right now, if you're not, I'll be honest with you. Is it kind of weird? It's like when you see. It's like when you want to buy a certain car. And you you never saw the car before, but when you're interested in the car, you see the car everywhere on the road, right?
Everywhere.
Well, the same thing with the police brutality videos. If you look at at what's been happening, you start noticing. You almost start. It's almost like you were, holy shit, this dude got capped, and it's not, and it's everybody. It's not just. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, it looks when you see the video, it's predominantly black, but if you look at everything, it's everybody. Just recently, a Los Angeles Sheriff's Department just gunned down an 18-year-old Hispanic kid who was a security guard.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah, so it's almost like then you see another one where there was a white kid that was shot. There was another one where there was a. I'm looking at this whole shit. I'm thinking, I don't be honest.
We have an issue.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If I saw
pissed off a couple of people and my family because I posted something about defunding police. If not defunding, redirecting how we, what they can and cannot do, because in some places, this is just Flash's opinion, some places I feel they're almost borderline paramilitary.
Right.
Like
You're right.
Jorgensen, the Libertarian presidential candidate, is running on a platform to, defund ATF. Yes. And restructure and defund some aspects of the police and get rid of no-knock raids.
Did you see
Breonna Taylor?
Breonna Taylor, yeah. Breonna Taylor, yeah.
Who a no-knock raid, and she was shot in her bed, and it was the wrong house.
Did you?
The police, I get it, and I'm not, and for all you Blue Lives Matter people, I'm not saying the police are bad. I have plenty in my family, and I'm not saying anything bad about individuals, but the system creates. I think the police system, as of right now, creates too many opportunities
to perpetuate it. I'll be honest with you, to perpetuate it, because
and for easy people to just like go,
Doc,
exert a little bit of more authority, and all of a sudden someone gets killed.
Yeah, Doc's got a good point. That there's been a lot of I remember this kind of shit happening when I was a kid, right? My protest sign was beef jerky is too expensive, bro. You ain't lying. Have you seen fucking beef jerky lately? Holy shit. I'd say I remember a lot where I don't remember the police ever kidding up. I don't remember seeing police like there's a SWAT situation or something like that. I see cops they would always wear like the dark blue overalls, jumpsuits with boots, and they would do that, and then that's it, bro. Now they're like they look fucking camouflaged. Now they're all wearing
up armored LMTVs.
Yeah. What the hell the hell does a cop need? What the hell does the police department need with an MRAP? Now, I mean, Spanky, we're talking about this as well. Is that I could see like for an active shooter event, you need an armored vehicle, but I mean there are a lot cheaper armored vehicles that you can get.
But that's why you have a SWAT team, not standard issue. Every police department has this fucking shit.
Right.
And no-knock raids got to go.
Oh hell yeah!
Like
dude.
I get it, but like I saw some statistic. I forget where exactly. So don't please don't go to your next debate with this information. But something like 65% of no-knock raids come up with like no contraband, or they come up with nothing.
Right.
Honestly, it's unconstitutional. It's the same as the the red flag laws. They're unconstitutional.
Yep.
And they need to go. And it's something and. The Black Lives Matter folks, actually, that's one thing they've had. Nothing in their list of demands that was terrible. The only one that I saw issue was more of a logistics, like they're asking for more representation in the police department depending on your community. And I can get that. The problem is, do you have less of a force if you don't have qualified candidates, or do you bring down the standard? And that was my only issue. Most of it was having the police need I understand policing is hard, and I 100% get it, but these over you like the guy who shot the concealed carry, the rightful and legal concealed carry, Felipe Castro. That guy was like protected out front until finally somebody got their tune right. But still, like these upfront protections when people do wrong, you know, it has got to go. We need to make it where there's consequences, that you can't just hide, you know, behind, you know, bad people can't hide behind the badge to make everyone look bad.
Right.
You know, and there needs to be, and there was some, they're asking for like civilian oversight, which, you know, when there's instances like this, there needs to be a third party civilian oversight. You know, take it out of the department. And I know it's going to ruffle feathers, but, you know, you want to get if you want to win back the hearts and minds of your own citizens you're policing, you need to take steps to take you out of the equation when they go,
right.
Hey, because no one believes like, oh, we found
right.
this guy, not, you know, he's innocent, he's going back to work. It, you know,
but listen
that might be true, but it's not going to sound the same unless it comes from somebody who's not in your system.
But listen to how you said that, Flash. Winning hearts and mind of the community. These police officers are supposed to be from the community. There's no heart. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah. So they're supposed to have the community at large is supposed to be supportive of the police department when they're listening to what their issues are.
They're supposed to trust them.
Yeah, exactly. There's supposed to be a level of trust. Hey, I got it. I'll be honest with you. And it's gonna piss off. I support the men and women in the blue. I fucking because just like in the military, we don't destroy an entire police department just because of everyone fucking up and all this. What you do is you reform it. And when I say about reforming it, like I keep going back to the Spring Lake, North Carolina, when that police department was disbanded because of practices, then the Cumberland County Sheriff had to come in and started policing everything too for Spring Lake. There were some certification issues, there were some other issues, but once that got squared away, it got reinstated. A lot of that reform, and that, you notice is a good point, and this is just me watching. After a police officer shoots or is involved in an incident, you don't see the roll EMS anymore. You always hear, you notice that? You ever watch some of the body cams and used to always hear, hey, we need to roll EMS, we need to request EMS and all that. Some of the things that I'm noticing that I think is a I don't understand why they don't do it, is when a suspect has been shot and is obviously incapacitated and he's shot and he's on the ground and he's bleeding, then they go into we need to restrain him, he needs to be cuffed. Now I got the fact that yes, the individual may be on something, but if he's bleeding the fuck out and you have him cuffed and you just leave him there, and then you want to roll EMS, you just leave him there. That's another thing that I don't understand of of when a police officer shoots a suspect. Now don't get me wrong, the suspect is you point a weapon at a cop. I expect a cop to defend himself. I mean, you're gonna have to fucking do it if it's in the capacity to defend himself. Yes, but damn, dude. I kind of like, the police department needs to be talking to exactly that freaking Recruiter Times. They need to discuss the issues with the community. When all this stuff was kind of happening in my neighborhood, we had police officers kind of like, hey, walking around and shooting the shit and hanging out in the grocery store parking lot. And, hey, everything, y'all doing okay? Everything all right? Need somebody come by, community watch people were kind of like, we had our neighbors shooting the shit with each other and stuff like that. How are things going like that? Didn't really feel any fucking tension. But immediately, if you see a police officer rolling in a fucking MRAP, it looks like he's supposed to be clearing, IEDs. Then you kind of like wonder what the fuck. Josh says the militarization of the police departments came as about a money raising operation for GSA through DRMO government auction programs. Josh, there's also been some programs that have been given it to free. So if you requested it was posted on Twitter. I think it was the Buffalo. What's that big ass MRAP? The big massive one. It was a Buffalo or a Grizzly.
The long one's the Buffalo.
Yeah. So the Buffalo, all right, small town. Talking roughly didn't have that many people. I think Lethality Jane posted it up. Small town. A big monster freaking MRAP. Remember Rodney King? 8 cops beat him up and he was still getting attacking officers. At this point, he was fighting for his life. I don't even know if they did any toxicology on Rodney King to determine that if he was under was he under anything. I don't know if I had 8 officers beating up on me like the way he was fucking beat up. I'd want to get the fuck out of there too.
I'd be fighting back too. I mean,
yeah.
There's a time where I think there's a time for compliance. And I think when things start, you feel your life's in danger. You know what? I can understand I'm not saying that I'm pulling out, but if I'm getting beat on and I'm already like on the ground and done, there's a point where I think even I would go, I'm going to start fighting because, my fight or flight's going to kick in.
Right, and that's what I think happened too.
No, kick me harder in the kidney. I want to see blood for like another week or two. Like, no, harder, bam. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. No, we're not playing that game, and people wonder why, everyone's getting aggressive. Oh, just if you would just comply, it's like, nah, because there's a group
right,
and there's a group in our family that when they comply, they get shot or tased or beat upon.
Yeah.
And then when they don't comply, they get shot, beat, and tased upon. So how do you think they're going to feel?
Yeah, they're not going to comply.
You wonder why there's a whole community of people that don't trust the police no matter where they're from, because they see it all the time that no matter what they do, they are going to get their ass kicked. If not, they're worried about getting shot. Hell, we had like I said, standard fucking standard fucking pullover, just checking. Illegal concealed carry was on live stream, so no one could be like, well, we didn't see the whole thing. Bullshit. The whole thing was live stream on Facebook, and we all saw it, and the cop shot it. And you wonder why people are fucking putting their hands up in front of because everyone's so worried that God forbid they do something, they're gonna get shot because either police as an institution is afraid of the black community or something, or but I don't fault the black community for not trusting the police. I can't imagine how I would feel if I had to worry about my son's skin color, possibly determining his a younger fate.
Right. Yeah, it's.
And I think more people should be pissed off that we have people in our family. We're not talking about what's going on in another fucking country. We're talking about what's going on in the United States of fucking America. We all should be pissed off that anybody feels that their police or their it sucks that we all feel like our government's fucking us over. So at least we're all in that.
We can agree with that. Yeah.
Feel like their local police, the people that are supposed to come from their community, are not in for their best interest, and that they could possibly take someone's son's or daughter's life just because of their skin color puts them on edge. I think that's something that we as a country need to fucking figure out and fix, so then we can go fucking beat the shit out of all these other countries that want to be assholes.
Right.
Because right now, I saw an article like, China. I think it was one of my favorite memes of like the last week, where it's like China and Russia are like, are making fun of the U.S. for the unrest going on right now.
Yeah,
and it was like, look, we're having a civil, a family's just fighting right now. Doesn't mean we're not going to come over there and like kick your ass.
Shut up. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we got IEDs and RPGs, huh? Fuck that. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Ivan. Hey, China. We have fans out there, anyways. So shut the fuck up. We don't. We just sit there and say we're losing control of our country. No. I think we're doing pretty good. We might have a problem with somebody learning how to drink water, but
it's like that fucking fight you have to have with your dad, where you're gonna, your dad or your brother, where you're gonna fucking beat the shit out of each other, and then we're all gonna sit there bloodied and actually finally fucking listen to each other and go, oh, that's what's going on? We can fix that. And that's what we're going through right now. I know it sucks. It sucks because it's uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable for people to talk about what's going on. It's uncomfortable for people to be, because I'm not of the proponent of the white guilt or a white apology. I'm not going. I didn't do shit, but I also can recognize that shit is going on that shouldn't be going on.
Right.
So people are too. I don't, because there's some weird videos of like you have like groups of white people like bowing and like kissing feet and stuff like that. I'm like, hold up. Not that I don't understand the sentiment, but yeah, I kneel for God, and that's about it.
Do you think it's I think some of it's over pandering too. It's like over pandering, like, and it's over pandering.
They're so apologists that they like. They're washing feet. I'm like, but it's not in a religious sense.
Right. Well, no, I'm just saying.
I never watched the feet in the religious sense, and I got that.
Yeah, but
this is like I apologize for all white people. Like, hold up, I'm not apologize for assholes because they're the ones who fucking are dead now, and we're past them.
I want to know where this feet washing is, because I got some mad bunions. So I don't.
I got some shit to work on.
Yeah, I got some. I don't understand.
But this conversation makes people uncomfortable, and that's why either they dismiss it, they don't want to talk about it, or they fucking go, oh, they're all animals, and the people that say that is like, no, you're just stupid because you don't see that there's some real hurt going on out there. Yes,
like
there are assholes that are taking this shit and taking it to the wrong way, the wrong level, the wrong message, and it's pissing. And the people who are on message, who are trying to make things better, these activists, these young men and women, they're out there trying to do their men and old and young. They're trying to just get this message of stop hurting our brothers and sisters over there. And they're taking that message and fucking it up. Yes, we're all hating on those people. We're all pissed off. But see, we have these people who are uncomfortable. Go, oh, but look, see, look at right there. They're fucking destroying stuff.
Yeah,
yes, that's a small group, but that's like saying the KKK represents all fucking white people.
Right.
Calm
Well,
the fuck down.
you know, I'll be honest with you.
I'm sorry if I'm getting a little like.
No, dude.
I'm not trying. I am definitely not trying to make anyone feel bad. I know there's a lot of misunderstandings, I will say I am not the most fucking enlightened person in the world, and it has taken some time and and dealing with people in my own and working with my own family to truly understand exactly where we're at right now. But now that I see it, I want more people to understand that this is not a black issue. This is United States of America issue, and that this shit needs to change.
I think the
Again, this is Flash talking, not representing anybody or anybody else.
No. I mean, I just think no. You're right. I just think that when everyone deflects that stuff, like you were saying earlier about about having a disease or something like that, it's like if you have heart failure and you have like the American Lung Association is bringing up cancer awareness. Oh, okay. So what about people who have ALS? You know what I mean? What about people who have multiple sclerosis? What about other people? Yeah, well, they matter too. I'm like, no, we fucking know that, and I think. When everyone, because I can comprehend and understand the meaning of Black Lives Matter, I know what it means. I don't get offended when someone says Black Lives Matter. I don't. I really don't. You say it.
Drawing attention to an issue.
Right.
All lives matter. No,
it'd be like.
I'm sorry. Thank you. You fucking knuckle dragging water. We all get that all lives matter, or else we wouldn't fucking care.
We would.
But
that's like having
now. This is the particular issue we're going to focus on as a society to fix it. That's like saying, well, COVID-19's out there. All diseases and
exactly
contractions fucking matter. No fucking shit.
Yeah, no. I know. What about the flu? What about the flu? How can we talk about the flu? As a matter of fact, you actually people bring that up. People bring that up. People are racist against virus too. Like, oh, you're not really racist because a virus is a virus, but it's funny because if you use that mentality, because you think about it, the people that want to fight against that don't want to believe that COVID exists. Are the ones that bring up fucking flu facts? Are the ones that bring?
I'll admit it. I had a conversation with my dad. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he's like, I said, I get what but all lives matter. I said, Dad, I get that. I said, I'm not saying that. No one is saying that. I said, I don't understand where this line of messaging. I don't know if MSNBC is running some like 2 a.m. fucking news story that's saying, hey, just so everyone knows, not all lives matter. Then we would have an issue. I said, and I did the analogy of, because that's been the easiest way for me to do, to explain it to other people what they're trying, what Black Lives Matter is trying to get at. And I explained to him, and he goes, that makes sense. He said, he pretty much was like, I get it now. I was like, yes, they're not saying only Black Lives Matter.
Right. And that's
saying,
as a matter of fact, there have been,
hey guys, we matter.
There have been,
this issue?
Right. Exactly.
There
have been activists within the African American community that even said the same thing. We fucking know that all lives fucking matter. We know this. You know what I mean? We already know this. Is if you watched the funeral of George Floyd, the one that happened in Houston. If you paid attention to it and not dismissed it, and you watched I watched the whole thing. This is a pivotal point, and the reason why is because, this is a historic event, right? This is a big change. This is the big movement against police brutality, and I fucking fully support it. I watched it, and there was a pastor up there. One of the individuals who was speaking, who was African American descent, said, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. Guys, I mean, he was letting everybody understand this is a fucking inclusive event. This is inclusive to us. Again, I'm going to repeat myself until I'm blue in the fucking face, because I'm already red in the face because, I'm blood pressure medicine and I'm old and all this other shit. Dude, I have no issues with saying. I don't get offended when Black Lives Matter is being said. Black Lives Matter because Black Lives Matter. It doesn't bother me at all. It does not. I don't sit there. Whoa, all lives matter. It really. Narcissist lives matter.
All lives matter. Hill. They got different issues.
Right.
Like there we've got different issues because it's like all trailer parks matter.
Right. You're getting stupid about it at that point.
Not to a tornado.
Doc. Really, the crazy question. Really, Doc. You want to say why is dude? For someone who tries to flag-splain us about the whatever flag of your that you want to talk about,
forgot that I'm educated.
I'm not educated. Who cares? It is the matter of the movie. It's like saying, how come the VFW is called the VFW when you have other wars and stuff like that? Why is it Veteran and Foreign Wars? Are we saying now that we don't care about civilians? No, there is a group of people that feel like they need representation to have representation within our lobby in Congress, lobbies in Congress to say, hey, this is the issues we need to have. This is the issues we need to bring up forefront to our country when it comes to veteran issues. That's why I don't get pissed off on the VFW or the American Legion, or I don't care about that stuff. IAVA. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't fucking bother me. Everyone's like want to be feeling like they're fucking inclusive. We didn't fucking leave you out. It's just like the same thing with LGBT because it's Pride Month, right? You don't realize that they're all Americans, right? They're all gonna be here. They're not fucking going away. No one's going away. We're not. That's the whole reason why E pluribus unum. We're all fucking one and shit. It doesn't matter to me if someone wants to fly their pride flag or they fly their black BLM. I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. Nor should it bother anybody else. You start fucking nitpicking on something like that, but you don't want to check yourself. Well, how come this and how come that and why doesn't this and why does that? Who fucking cares? What the hell's wrong with somebody allowing their freedom of speech to protest?
And so, if you still want to, if you want to fly the rebel flag, Confederate flag, whatever you want to call it, if it's on you, it's your personal property, First Amendment rights, brother. You brother, sister, you do what you want to do. And because we were talking about with NASCAR. NASCAR is a private entity and does not fucking care about your First Amendment rights. They can say, hey, you cannot. No one's allowed to wear a blue shirt here, and guess what?
Yeah, really.
Take it to court, but they're a private organization, so
right.
Because I know somebody's about to try to make that. Well, if the First Amendment, NASCAR said, "Fuck you." We're not doing that here.
Is it a utility? Is it a publisher?
It's the same thing as when 7-Eleven says, "No shirt, no shoes, no service."
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself. They're a private organization. It's private business. You can go protest or right up.
Oh my God!
So
I laugh.
We're gonna make changes. That's what we need to do is make changes. That's what that's what Black Lives Matter is asking for. They're not asking for black supremacy over whites or black supremacy over everyone. They're asking to feel safe in their own fucking homes where there's no knock fucking these no knock
no knock raids. No knock raids.
Yeah, we all want to feel safe in that. They want to feel that their sons and daughters playing outside won't be targeted first and shot for mistaken or whatever just because the color of skin. It's something that I think we all can fucking go, hey, I can relate to that because I don't want my son to be playing outside and to be mistakenly look like somebody who they're looking for.
Ooh,
and all of a sudden he's scared and runs and gets shot in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, freaking Doctor brings a good point. What about someone disgracing the American flag by putting a blue or green stripe or red stripe through it or yellow stripe? It's freedom of speech, but it's bullshit.
Oh, shit, I can't stand that.
I can't stand that either. It's just like that. I can't stand that shit at all.
I read a story because I read a story that's happening in where is it? Spotsylvania County.
Right.
I think I've talked about them twice. They have their own issues. They have there's an American flag that is stitched because they have turf that's stitched into the field, and the school board or county supervisors or whatever are making a big issue and telling them to take it up. Now, the flag is there because it's to honor a soldier who died, I believe, in Iraq, and he was like 23, and he went to that high school. And I mentioned that because I like to read different things that happen throughout the state, throughout the tri-state and everything.
Right.
And my wife's like, what's the American flag? I said, yes. And I said, I guarantee. Let me read this because I guarantee I know the answer. And they recited the flag code as, this shouldn't be in the field. It shouldn't be able to be walked on. because you're opening yourself up for some high school kid that decides they want to burn it, or they're trying to, they're from Seattle and they want to burn it or kneel on it or whatever. But it's also against the flag code, and they recite that as, hey, we get your intention, but according to the flag code you can't do that, so we want you to take it out. And I read that, I went 100% with them, 100%, because I don't believe, I get all, Blue Lives Matter. No fucking duh.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, I said, hey, fuck the cops. I hope
Right.
If you're really saying that, then you just recite Blue Lives Matter. Same thing with the firefighters, which firefighters, hey, bless you guys, because you're in no conversation. You guys are always being awesome, at least as awesome as you can be. I don't believe in adding the stripe. The American flag is the American flag. It is. I have one right here. It is beautiful. It is lovely. It represents the country that my great grandfather, my great grandfather, many of my great uncles, including my father, myself, and my step grandfather, all fought for. It is the country that I love, the country I was born in, the country my kids are born in, and I think it's perfect the way it is. I don't believe that we need to put a blue line through it, or a green line, or a red line, or a pink line, or any fucking color in the fucking spectrum.
Do you think that's kind of like? Do you think it's kind of like it's fucking funny when people get more pissed off about that flag already? I mean,
thank you, Scott. It is already all inclusive.
Exactly. The red, white, blue, right.
It does not represent a perfect country, but it represents a country trying its best.
Right.
And its game is to be perfect.
Right.
We're not going to be perfect, but we're trying. Yes, not taking away that we come from founding fathers that owned slaves. We come from the fact that the Europeans and the Europeans came over and they fucked up the indigenous people. Yes, but that happens throughout history. So I'm like, I know it sucks, but it's part of our history. Yes. Was it built, large parts of our country built on the backs of slaves? Yes. Did we have a whole fucking giant, 4 or 5 year war over the fact of, over slavery, and that nearly divided the country in half? Yes. But did we stand together and fucking beat the shit out of Germans once and twice, along with the Japanese when they were running out of line? We did. World War I, World War II. Did we go to Korea? We did. Did we go to Vietnam? We did. Did we go to Iraq? And we're still there.
We're still there.
As well as Afghanistan.
Still there.
You know why? Because we're fucking Americans. We know that we're fucking fighters, and we do the right thing. And yes, I understand that we're not a perfect country, and we didn't start perfect, and we're probably never going to be perfect. But damn it, we can at least try to be perfect.
Right. The fucking
flash out.
What's that? Yeah, flash out. What about the potheads that place our marijuana leaf where the union pay? Yeah, I seen that one. So yeah, you know what? Fucking, I don't like it either. But I'm not gonna fucking salute it. I'm not gonna fuck with it and get mad if someone burns a fucking marijuana flag or gets mad and burns the blue stripe.
Do you get high if you burn a marijuana flag?
It depends, I guess. I don't know. It depends what material the flag's made out of, and especially if it's on if it's mounted on a wood if it's on a wood hemp stick or something. Yes, if you got them. It depends what kind of bud you want to put. You want to fly it up on.
Hemp string.
Yeah, hemp string. So again, really, am I thinking that there's too many people that are oversensitive about it, but not sensitive about other stuff? I don't know. Everyone's
I think individually we all are oversensitive and then sensitive at the same, and undersensitive over different things.
Right.
We're all individuals
Correct.
with different fucking everything.
Correct. Exactly. If a marijuana flag's made out of burn it, let's burn it. You're supposed to. It's supposed to burn, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do with marijuana? Exactly.
Let it wave and burn.
It's almost a
contact high, everybody.
Is that what they call it? No, I mean, again, I can totally see the flag being used for ceremony. Like for instance, when I retired, I received my flag, and it was, like I said, it was folded up, and it came in a case, and it was good to go, and all that, and it's presented like that. That's a respectful manner and all that. Somebody grabs it, but it's sentimental to me, and it is representative of my service, and good to go. But somebody who just buys a flag to burn it and protest and some shit like that, or walk around and hang it upside down, bro. It's not. Maybe it's the place of significance on where the flag is being used. Do I think that the U.S. flag is an important symbol? Yes, it is. I do. But I'm not gonna get butthurt or fucking rage the fuck up and have my blood pressure go up when somebody burns it because
I like that Grunt Style's making money off of the Blue Lives flags and stuff like that. I don't like it. I'm not gonna buy it. But just like with everything else, if it's on your own personal time and it's you go. You know what? If you don't feel the same way about the American flag as I do, you are fucking blessed to have whatever fucking opinion you want in a country that's going to go, hey, have your opinion. No one's going to fucking shoot you over that over your
do you want to say people? Because cops are getting shot. Yeah, what to say? Some people get stupid about it.
Like if you don't care, like you fly blue lives matter or whatever lives matter, I appreciate the American flag the way it is. As Scott said, it is all inclusive from the start. It's not perfect, but fuck it, we've been trying. I don't think you should deface it, but people are going to. It's the same way. Like I think fucking wearing American flag shorts are fucking tacky as shit. I won't wear them. If your loser ass wants to go to Myrtle Beach and wear them, fine.
That's another thing too. You're right. So if you wear like how you see American flag bikinis, American flag draws, and Ranger panties and T-shirts and stuff like that, does that mean you're desecrating the flag if you get it dirty when you're playing some? You know what I mean? We can get to the point to where it's an obvious event where we're not trying to disrespect it if you're going to put it on there. No one's really going to go by the flag code. You're wearing a ball cap that's got the American flag on it or something like that. And it rips off or lands on the ground, you're really gonna get fucking stupid. Because usually the ones that are throwing the fucking outrage are usually the ones that don't follow their own fucking standards to begin with, that they're trying to preach on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking drives me.
Sip some tea with that one.
Yeah, I'm about to say exactly that. Hey, where were you fucking raging on some other shit? If it's you're not complaining about one thing, yeah. But no, you were talking about you haven't done a fucking sports page in a while.
Well, I kind of, it was, because sports isn't happening right now. Damn it.
So wait.
So the sports page was at the beginning of the show.
Oh, we had more.
So we did, since we're gonna move away a little bit from some of this chaos. So I know I mentioned that the 60-day, the 60-game MLB season was voted down by the Player Association. Well, not even like 15, 20 minutes after. I said that. Did a message go across? This coming from Bleacher Report. We love Bleacher Report. Actually, used to write for them when they first came out, and they were letting anyone write for them. I did write for them for a couple of articles, which was kind of cool. And damn it, if I would have kept writing for them, I could have been in the know. But oh well. It looks like the MLB owners voted that they're saying fuck it, we're having a season. And that the commissioner pretty much told the Players Association, "Hey, you need to let us know by Tuesday at 5 start spring training, July 1st, like 7 days or whatnot, and while also would you agree to these health and safety protocols, which looks like would give us a 50 to 60 game season if Manfred, who is the commissioner." He pretty much gets to pick the schedule at this point.
Would it be worth it, though? Is it worth it right now already to have a game coming out if you can just go ahead and just postpone the year? I mean, is it just simple, just say, look, let's plan for the next season. We'll just use this one as a bye. Use this for some awesome practice time and shit like that. Maybe have a couple of exhibition games. And then next year, do you think because I think it's almost like it's almost like starting a movie like halfway. And you just don't have that same fucking energy. I don't know. I think the fan base would be better for having all the sports. I mean, for that you can help us.
So here's the conversation around that point, which is a good point. And it's something that I don't have my tickets to opening day are already or a credit now on Ticket Stub or whatever the fuck it's called. So I'm not going to the Yankees opener, which makes me sad. So here's a couple conversations about it. If they decided that there's no season happening at all, you have to then work out with the Players Association exactly how free agency will work, how arbitration will work, the international signings. Does it count as a year? Does it not count as a year on some of the players' contract? Because there are players that Major League Baseball is interesting because they get you, and you usually if you come up through the minor league system and you're between your minor league contract that then becomes a qualifying major league contract for whatever years. Then there's arbitration where a team can keep a hold of you for I think it's up to 3 years of extra. And then you can go into free agency. So by the time, normal, if you're a B or A caliber player, you're looking at you're 25, 26, 25, 26, 27 before you actually might be able to hit free agency, which is and for baseball and for most sports is kind of old. So you have to determine.
But what I'm saying is that would a pause in the season cause that type of requirement to have everything go into arbitration? You know what I mean? It's almost like this is like the most
and that's something
biggest
that
extenuous.
The owners and the Players Association would then have to argue, and because there's some players that are like, no, like there's some people that are tied to their team that are ready to get that, that are getting paid, almost like league minimum because that's just their contract they were on,
right?
But are badasses and can get millions and millions of dollars once they hit free agency. So they're trying to get to free agency. And there's some that are going to, because there's two options. They could go, hey, we're going to call this a fucking flush on this season. And, next year everything stops. Next year will count as like with this year.
Right.
And everyone stays on the same track. Well, then you have those players who are not getting paid, who are just only getting a year older, who are then going to go, fuck that shit because I'm missing out on money that I got to wait another year to get to. And then you have other folks that are, that on the other side, like, hey, it's a hold, it's whatever, and we just call it a day. Some people are already saying that, if they play 60 games, will it really count? Will it be kind of like an asterisk on the season? So I'm not saying that I wouldn't understand if Major League Baseball said no, we're not going to happen. It's more of figuring out exactly what's going to happen with the players. Because it is kind of unfair to the players that, people who, hey, I don't have another year arbitration. I can go make the big money, or I'm a free agent now. I can leave the situation. But then also what happens if they go, hey, this counts as a year, and major league teams like the New York Yankees, who just got Cole Hamels, yes, that's a year off of his contract now. Now, I think we hired him we signed him for 5 years. That means you only have 4 years left with him, and that's
could you add that?
That
but because of this extenuating circumstance, can't you add on to that? Can't you just say, hey, look, everyone gets a bye?
They all have to agree to it, and that's the thing. Like that, and that's the hard part. Is the commissioner can't just go, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
The players have rights, and so do the owners, and it's going to be hard to find a crossroads between, hey, we get to keep players for this long, but not these players. Like, it would be easier to at least have a short season to count as a year. So then everything stays on track, because when you're talking money and free agency,
right?
Not just free agency, people, soldiers, players who want to go into free agency and go to another team, but we're talking about the teams that have new players, because a lot of players got signed this off season, would lose out that year. So it's kind of like you're, either trying to find some midway, which I don't see a good way that everyone's happy, or you try to find a way to play the season and it's just going to be televised, which, hey, it's fine. I got MLB TV. I know I wasn't going to be in the stadium anyway, so I can just watch it.
Right.
It won't be as fun without a crowd, but it's tough. There's no real good solid. Oh, here's the answer. Like no matter how you swing it, someone's going to be like getting the short end of it.
I was just curious because, it would. I mean, me personally, if I was still in a job that still kept me going and still kept me paid, and I kind of like had some time off where I could just go and do some practicing and hang out still a little bit, maybe do.
But they're not getting paid.
They're not getting
paid for this. That's why. That's one of the things they've been talking about is, if there's a season, how much would they get paid? Because they're not going to get their full contract. I don't think any of them expect to get their full, hey, this is what I would make this year. But they're trying to figure out exactly how much do you prorate, like, how much is 60 games worth. So they're right now getting no paycheck. So it sucks for the minor leaguers who literally live in their car.
I was about to say, minor leaguers are different. Or the AAA minor leagues,
live in somebody else's home, like sponsored homes.
Yeah.
Which I try to get my wife to let me sponsor a local, our new local AA team. Double or single? I think it's single A. New single A team, but my wife was like very against that, which I was like, But I mean, so these players, the minor leaguers are just screwed. They're barely making like $30,000 a year. But these big guys, yes, I'm pretty sure if you're on a major league team, you'll be okay for a year. But still, that's your money, and now you're a year older, and that's a year less you have to make bigger money to get, and it's all about money. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and there's figure out prorate and how much. Now I did want to touch because we kind of got off track when I was talking about Bubba Wallace. So the news happened. FBI, I did confirm the FBI is investigating if it's a Jesse Smollett situation. I know Bubba Wallace will be driven out of sports and chastised and everything, and he'd rightly deserve it. I don't believe that's what happened, and I hope the guilty party or parties find themselves in a world of trouble. But a good thing happened, something that is something that we see in sports a lot, and it's called unity and fucking backing up your people. If you ever watch NASCAR, they push the cars to get them into position. Well, Bubba Wallace was driving the car, and it was being pushed by some of his friends and all of his competitors, and it's like there's a great picture of him being pushed and supported by all the crew members, all the pit crews, all the spotters, all the management. And he's actually Bubba Wallace is actually sponsored by Richard Petty.
Yeah, I was about to say, go ahead. Yep.
Who was there at the start,
Yep.
and actually hugged him, and supporting him. And I love Richard Petty. I loved him when I was a younger kid because I loved his hat. And I love him as a team owner and as a sponsor. But he was there. It was a great show of unity. He had Richard Blaney. I think it's Richard Blaney, but it's Blaney who actually won the Talladega. Which was a great race. It was a crash at the finish. It was awesome. And he ended up winning. Who was a close friend of Bubba Wallace, was there with him. Bubba Wallace actually ran a great race. He was within the top 10 for most of the race. And then ran out of fuel like a lot of people did, including my boy Denny Hamlin. But anyways, it was a great show of support. Bubba Wallace, he made sure to talk. He even talked without his mask. It was like, look, I want the person to know that you're not going to break my smile, that you're not going to tear me down, and we're going to keep going. He even made sure to go see some of the fans that are wearing, Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe shirts, and he's showing his support to them. And then I also want to make credit in NASCAR to Denny Hamlin and FedEx. At first, I thought when I first glanced, because I was working and I saw the article, it said that FedEx pulls sponsorship from Denny Hamlin, and I got concerned that Denny Hamlin, maybe, who's my favorite racer, was doing something he wasn't supposed to, at least off the track. But it actually was changed. It was different. FedEx actually pulled their logos and sponsorship logos off of the car to put out the car that actually sponsored the Civil Rights Museum.
Oh yeah,
so it
I saw
had
that.
the Civil Rights Museum logo on the front and on the back, and I thought that was a really cool show of support by FedEx. And Denny Hamlin made me want to root for him even more until fucking last 4 laps and he runs out of fucking runs out of fucking fuel. But NASCAR is making big steps, and I commend them. It makes me proud to, even though I get made fun of a lot by my more sophisticated people who they're just making left turns. Like, shut up, it's more than that. But I am proud of NASCAR for leading the way and taking a step in the right direction. I feel bad for Bubba Wallace, and I hope that whoever did that, is brought to justice, because you don't deserve that. You're
I think what makes me mad is that how everyone, when it comes to some situation like that, they always bring up the fucking the Jesse Smollett shit, but then when it comes to like another event that's against them, like a cop, they immediately defend the cop with everything they can.
Well, we did see what's the full context.
Was a full? I mean, exactly. That fucking drives me up the wall. It's like, if you're gonna apply that same standard to fucking everybody, how about we wait until the investigation's finished? Like you were saying before, Flash, it was a limited event, limited access event. There's always videos and stuff of that of people walking in there. And it could. I'll be honest with you. Freaking. When it comes out, it comes out. If somebody said, because I guarantee you right now, look, there's a campaign right now that everyone's talking about. I'm gonna bring it up at Sarn's time. Some mad fucking disinformation that Ivan and fucking China's throwing out, and all of you are not all of you, but a lot of the audience, they're fucking falling for it big time. And I'm thinking, are you fucking really gonna believe? And usually there are memes that are made with specific detail. That I'm a meme DeLorean. I like making memes myself. We do have U.S. Army WTF Moments memes page. And the meme lords, they like to shoot the shit and all that stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I don't get how people when an event happens, and immediately a meme comes out the next day trying to disprove what happened on the fucking track. And then when somebody releases a statement about it, everyone's immediately going to jump that shit and go, oh, well, fucking see, bullshit. It's fucking just like Jussie Smollett. How about we wait until all this fucking drama is done and see what the fuck happened is fucking, you know what I mean?
The FBI is getting involved, and we're gonna find something out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, exactly. I have at all fucking times have been open to again any side of it. Just like the Breonna Taylor when the cops did the no knock and he got shot. Everyone immediately thought, oh, he was fucked up. And what happened? It turns out that the cop fucking, you know, she didn't identify themselves as police officers. They just bolted right in. And it was a Kenneth Taylor or something like that, her boyfriend, that came in there, Kenneth Walker, who came in there to defend himself and you know, injured one of the cops. They try to bust him for fucking assaulting a police officer and then, you know, attempted murder, also the crap. The fuck. They're all the guys that like to pump this fucking Second Amendment shit. That's what they fucking did. They are doing the same fucking thing that they're saying about, oh, there's 2A, Second Amendment, blah blah blah. You notice the NRA's been really fucking quiet on this shit too.
NRA's been super quiet. They never seem to want to talk about no knocks or when
you notice
Castro was shot in his car.
Right.
And the NRA was like, motherfuckers, this is exactly why you exist. But oh wait, we can't forget that, you know, we didn't really start putting, you know, gun control until the Black Panthers started carrying around AR-15s, and then all of a sudden we needed gun control. So these 2A folks, it pissed me off because I was in there's one 2A group here in Virginia because Virginia's been losing their minds with some of the stuff, and it's all fine and dandy until they start fucking like, well, you know, he probably did this or that. Like, hey, what about he's a fucking concealed carry, or he's allowed to own a fucking rifle or a weapon, and he's being shot by the police, which is exactly what you bitches were just fucking fighting about with fucking our governor. Like, what kind of bullshit that? And they started posting some racist stuff because, you know, you got to remember Governor Northam did have that whole controversy, I think about a little over a year ago, a bit over a year ago, with the whole yearbook for when he was in med school with him either in a KKK outfit or in blackface, and they're posting that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that.
Yep. It was a meme put on top of a statue, but it wasn't of him. It was almost like it was kind of going for like that black caricature with the big red lips and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you know, I understand if you don't like the governor, but can we not be racist like him? And
it's almost like they're trying to justify.
But he did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we don't.
Right.
Do that
Exactly.
So this is supposed to be a Second Amendment, not a reason to fucking just be racist for no reason. Like that's just not a fucking thing you do. And then, you know, somebody said, well, you can just leave. I said, fucking, I'll deuce out. I said, I don't give a shit. But I mean, yeah, it's funny. It's funny when, you know, Breonna Taylor did not a damn thing, and her boyfriend, who defended himself, did not do a damn thing. If somebody just like bursts into my house, I'm not gonna go, oh, it's probably the police, I'll just lay here. Fuck no, I already know where my 45 is.
I have freedom devices.
Okay.
I have freedom devices dispersed about the AO. I have freedom devices that are there to assist me in the carrying out of my Second Amendment rights. You know, I don't, but I don't. I really, like I said, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care at all what anybody has to say when they I mean, literally, as soon as, well, it was just like, oh, just see, how do we know that really fucking happened? But as soon as a fucking cop shot that fucking dude in the back, immediately, I saw the video again for the guy that got killed in Atlanta. I saw the video again. Cop said he had my taser, right? He said he got my taser, and he runs off and takes off. You know, some of the situations that we do, the shoot no shoot scenarios that we have.
It's a fucking taser.
It's a taser, okay? It's a weapon that's bright fucking orange, and if you fire it, it clicks, and it has a light on there. Everybody knows. You could see that it's bright fucking yellow. I could see that. I saw that, and was like, "Oh, you're not trained and all that." I mean, honestly, man, if I were just to go off on some of this shit on the rules of engagement just because I thought something like that, bro, I'd be fucking court-martialed.
I wonder sometimes, where are the rules of engagement? Like, where are these handbooks that some of these police departments go off of for their rules of engagement? Because, like in Atlanta, which, you know, my wife's from Atlanta, so, you know, when things happen down there, you know, she takes it kind of hard because she grew up in and around that area. And I wonder, it's like, where the fucking is your rules of engagement on this? A guy who was, they're called because someone was sleeping in his car in a drive-through line. Okay, he had no weapon on him. I got caught, sleeping in my car, drunk on the side of the road, and the cop's like, hey, you're supposed to be here. And I was like, sorry, officer, I was drinking. I stopped. I said, I even had the keys on top of the car just so he couldn't say that I, was driving. And he's like, cool. He said, I'm gonna wait here for like another hour. Then I'll wake you up and see how you are. I said, okay. And he literally just he let me sleep it off like another hour. Then he's like, hey, let's just blow and make sure you're good. I said, because I said I felt fine. I blew through. I was fine. He goes, okay, don't do that again because the next person not gonna be so nice. Whatever the part where we actually, cops were actually just out to look out for people.
The next time, somebody's not going to be so fucking nice. Think about what you just said. Think some people want me to bring up my police stuff in situations, and I just kind of like it adds fuel to the fire, and it doesn't get, it gets fucking stupid, and because then I feel like it's coattail riding, and then you want to jump on. Everybody wants to be, everybody has had an incident with law enforcement that is unique to their own fucking way. A police officer, you say next time they won't be so fucking nice. When you tell me that, and you're my friend, and you say next time someone's not going to be so nice, motherfucker, that has nothing to do with being nice. It has to do with professional courtesy. When I speak to somebody when I was in uniform and I didn't know them from Adam, I would sit there and say, hi, my name is Sergeant Major blah blah blah. I'm working with this and we do this and this, and can I speak to somebody? Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, thank you. Is there anything else I can do? No, you don't sit there and say, well, you're lucky because next time someone's not going to be so nice when a sergeant major calls you and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? When you're trying to work with a community, you're not supposed to. There's not supposed to be that stipulation. Next time somebody might not be so nice. What the fuck are you talking about? That's your fucking job to be cordial and professional. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll be honest with you. Have I been fucking wrong sometimes when it comes with the cops? Of course. Have I've been like a little stupid and shit like that because I was pissed and emotional? Yes. Do I look back and go, fuck, he could have shot me? Hell yeah. But then again, I was agitated because I literally fucking felt, why was I pulled over? My brother will sit there and shoot the shit with me. And you realize you're so pissed off at that cop, you ran a stop sign or something like that. Yeah, I was fucking, shit like that. But I have not, if I'm good to go, hey, how you doing? Everything all right? Yeah, I'm good to go. Hey, how much have you had to drink? I haven't had anything to drink tonight. Are you sure? But I'm on medication. Okay, what kind of medication? Do you have a prescription? Yes, I do. Blah 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 blah. You just discuss it like that. If you're being cordial like that, and I'm being cordial with you, and we're being professional, that's the interaction you're supposed to have. But to have a police officer tell you, well, next time someone's not going to be so nice, give me a fucking break. And screw that. Exactly that, Scott. I have been in situations where I have like, hey, I don't feel good. I feel sick. I think I over-medicated myself because of my meds. And the same thing. Police officer's like, well, then fucking, I'm sitting here writing reports. So you want to go sleep on the fucking bench? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like that. It's almost like I don't want to sound like it's like a flex. You know what I mean? It almost seems like it's a flex. Like they want to flex. And I got it. You're a police officer. I got it. You got a fucking tough job. But fuck, dude. Not one fucking time have I ever seen a soldier just get up from his fucking foxhole or guard duty or on a patrol or get out of his fucking gun and say, I fucking had it. I don't want to do this shit no more because people back home don't fucking appreciate us. Really? Do you not care about your community? I mean, I'm kind of thinking, fuck, dude, this blue flu shit. Well, how do you feel about this? Like the New York City cops. You think they read the room wrong when they fucking said about they were talking about you need to treat us with respect. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what happened to the day? Like, I think, remember the Andy Griffith show?
Yeah.
Because you're old enough to.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember them. I'm old enough to remember them coming out.
Remember how he acted? How it wasn't just about, enforcing the law, but it's about being a steward of the community.
Right.
I think that is honestly what's fundamentally missing right now with our police departments. I think that, not just the stuff that we've mentioned before, because Jo Jorgensen is right. I'm voting for her. I'm talking like no matter what community, the police need to be the beacon of hope. I want my son to be able to, to not be afraid, or any son to be, or son or daughter to be afraid to find a cop when they're in trouble, because they should be a part. That, it's funny. Like we watch these videos of like these cops playing. Like I saw one where they're playing. One was playing football and with some kid, and he juked him out and caught the ball, and it was awesome. Or playing basketball, or just being with the kids, and and we get so enamored with those videos, like, oh, this is so great, bless them. It's like, why aren't the rest of you guys, regardless if it's on video or not, why aren't the rest of you guys doing shit like that? Why aren't you guys just stopping and talking with kids without scaring the shit out of them? Why are we being better parts of the community instead of when it's a good photo op for your Facebook, your department's Facebook page? Why aren't we doing this? And there's
Scott Rosa said that we should make all cops watch Andy Griffith in the Academy. I will say this. Some of that funding that we're talking about should go to
Stella acting like Barney.
Instead of acting like Barney. Just no, you're right, because there would be people. But you're right. But when you think about it, though, you're right. When there was some drama going on and somebody came busting into the fucking station and somebody said that somebody stole some chickens. What did Andy Griffith say? Oh, now come on, I'm sure that didn't happen. I'm sure it was just a mistake. Let's see what's going on. That's what he would say. That he would say some shit like that. I think
I'm gonna go and fucking break down the door.
Yeah, exactly. No, let's go fucking just bust some fucking heads. I got my Punisher skull on my fucking plate. I want to fucking just rack some. There needs to be more situational exercises with the law enforcement community.
Did you see the creator of the Punisher is so pissed off?
Yes.
Law enforcement are doing that.
Yes. They even did a comic. Said if you wanted a fucking role model to fucking emulate, go worship Captain America or some shit like that. So yeah, it's just fucking frustrating to see that stuff. Some of it sometimes I think is a flex, just like when we always say, "Oh fuck, here he goes," as a veteran, or "Thank you for my service," also the shit. Now I think that I'll be honest with you. Now I think that projection is happening to Leo's right now. And you better respect me, and you better understand that. I almost expected him to be like, what I wanted to do, because I do film stuff, I wanted to put a Judge Dredd helmet on him and go, "I am the law." I wanted
and they act like we don't get that their job is dangerous.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
90% of your job, 90% of your job is not dealing with fucking crazy ass people. You've watched too many fucking Bad Boys movies, exactly. Or fucking watching Deputy on Fox or whatever, where every day all you're doing is going against drug dealers and bad guys. That we know that's not the fucking case, but you don't have to flex on us like it is. I get it. Your job is fucking dangerous. The same thing for the fire department, same thing for soldiers, same thing for fucking doctors and nurses. Everyone's job is fucking dangerous. But you don't need to flex on us like that's all you do is fucking bust heads every single day. Be a part of the fucking community. Do more for your community. Be a part and actually walk the streets and talk to people. Not scare them. Not have to be all fully kitted to feel safe enough to talk in these neighborhoods. Talk to people who don't look like you.
Right. Well,
talk to people who aren't in your inner circle. Talk to people who aren't even in your fucking community and get to know that community.
Right.
Then maybe people won't be on the police so hard.
It's funny. I just again when he's like, "You better respect us because we've been doing this for I've been doing this all my life, and we look at all of us here. We're because he's from New York, and he's like, we are respected members of the law enforcement." And I'm like, "Oh my god, don't! I am the law."
You have plenty of people within your police department who are full of fucking shit.
Dude, have you seen
that? And that reflects on leadership. So maybe you should fucking go on.
I'm gonna break balls. I mean, I'm probably gonna get some of my fucking I already get some of my blue. Some of my blue friends are gonna like fucking say me, "I heard your show, man. That's fucking bullshit." Because some of them actually pull duty, but they'll say the same thing too. They stop being a bitch. Some of them are like literally that. Stop being a bitch. We do have admins and part of the Vampire Squad in the WTF Nation that assist us for battles and distress and stuff like that. That go out and assist us to be Illinois for. And some of them are just like, "What the fuck are you guys complaining about? You would do no thing. You would do the same." Look, again, I'm gonna go back to the foxhole analogy. I'm gonna go back to sitting in the gun truck. If we were just driving down fucking downtown Baghdad and you were in the fucking gun and Spanky was pulling shotgun and you just said, "All right, guys, stop. What's going on? I'm out of here, man. I don't like the way Americans treat us. I don't like the way the VA treats us, so I'm dismounting right now because I'm calling in sick." Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious. But anyways,
we can do better, America. And guess what? I want to leave this show on a thought. It's funny. Like I've been like, it feels like my iTunes shuffle like listens to me and is trying to tell me things sometimes by just what comes through the shuffle. Like I had, what's going on, Marvin Gaye, what's going on, and and one of my favorites is times are changing. I do, while I really do like Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
There we go. There's a blues artist named Keeb Mo who I enjoy his rendition a little bit more, but I was listening to it and it resonated that, right now times are changing. You can either decide whether, it's okay to admit that you don't understand or you don't understand their experience or what that community is going through. It's okay. I'll admit it. I haven't had to experience all of that, so I don't understand everything. But it's okay to then go, but I want to, and I want to help. It doesn't make you a apologist. It doesn't make you a beta male.
Right, Scott. Scott's the whole battalion. The whole battalion has dental.
It doesn't mean that you're a beta male. It doesn't mean anything other than you are looking out for your brothers and sisters.
Right.
Many of you listening to WTF Nation Radio at one point or another has served in the U.S. military, where we love to, love military people to tout that, well, we didn't see color. We only saw is green. Yes, it's okay to then fucking actually act on those actions instead of just talk about it. It's okay to say, we only saw green. Then say, I only see red, white, and blue. And part of my red, white, and blue family is fucking hurting. So let's go.
Yeah, let's go and fuck this. Exactly, man.
If you want to tout the whole military, we only see green, which I had somebody do that. And I went, so you didn't have any black people in your unit? Like, no, none of that, because they probably are hurting right now, and you're just going, fuck you. All lives matter. But all we see is green. We don't all see green. We're not fucking colorblind, so don't act that way, because now you sound fucking stupid.
We're gonna take dentals. We gotta get your med pros taken care of. Exactly. We're gonna quit. Oh, they all, hey. I'm gonna just break balls on our Leo family. But do what we do. Take some Motrin.
Motrin in the water.
Take it, or you can meet us out back with a 2-quart. Oh man, nobody gives a black. I don't give a shit. Like I said, I have law enforcement friends that, and we have law enforcement admins that are veterans. That it just, some of it too is like, God, really? You're just gonna up and call quits? And what was it that one police officer said on RoboCop? We're police officers, not postmen. You know what I mean? When everyone decided to go on strike and the city went to shit. Yeah, you're not. You sit there. It kind of contradicts what that fucking cop said in New York. We the badge of the respect, and we swore an oath, and we haven't swore your fucking oath. Continue with your oath. There's plenty of times I wanted to fucking just leave the fucking army and just get the fuck. Just like frustrated me because I had some shit going on in my life, or there was something going on with the unit, or I don't know, just whatever. I didn't sit there at one time and say, no, fuck it. Yeah, you have an obligation. Like you were saying, man, it's something that's red, white, and blue within our family that we need to fucking fix. There's nothing wrong with saying Black Lives Matter. There's nothing wrong with saying that we have to reform the police. There's nothing wrong. You're looking at video. I'm looking at fucking video all the fucking time of it. I'm like, God damn, man, fucking cops are just beating the fuck out. If you think that it's okay, you start dropping memes after watching a fucking cop put his neck on a fucking dude for 8 fucking minutes, and you think that's okay, man, I'll tell you what, whatever, man.
Rightly go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But
where he's crying out to his mother.
Right. Did you?
Which was the, to me, was one of the most heartbreak, because I've unfortunately had to deal with someone who was dying and was calling out for their mom. And I tell you what, and dearly God, someone's going to make me tear just thinking about it.
Yeah, I know, man.
It is the most heart-wrenching gut punch you'll ever experience in your entire fucking life, to hear someone at knowing they're going to die and screaming out for their mom. See, it's already getting me.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm right there with you, man.
This guy did the same thing. People who are supposed to serve and protect are literally killing him slowly enough where he's calling out for his mom. And I can't imagine that at all. And I can't imagine how that doesn't make people more upset and understand why the fuck people in the black community are pissed off. You might not agree with me, and that's cool, because you can do whatever you want in this great country of ours. But if you can't understand that, especially as a son or a daughter or a fucking parent, that they imagine your kid, whether they did something wrong or not, but somebody's kneeling on
Bro,
their
I already
fucking
said
neck,
I would have.
and
Yeah,
they're dying slowly, calling out
bro.
for you.
Yeah, I would have.
You're
I
like-
said it on air already. They would. You wouldn't have to worry about the state, the city. It'd be the whole fucking state. That if I saw one of my kids, if I saw it, yeah,
I'd want to burn the fucking place down too.
yeah.
So you know what? You may not agree with what's going 100% what's going on. You may not agree with the protest everywhere, or people being all yelling and throwing things in violent. But you know what? Fucking, that was somebody's son. Was somebody's son who fucking had the life taken from him.
Yeah, don't fucking.
I'll die on that fucking hill.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, don't sit there. Yeah, exactly.
Hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't care.
don't. The justification of it too. Well, you had a history. I will guarantee you right now that a lot of our listenership has been out on discharges that are or not would be considered above board. You know, what makes me mad is that anytime a veteran kills himself or a veteran goes through a situation, it's always he's fighting his demons or he has this going on or he has this. And we empathize and we feel sorry for him. And we want to reach out to his family. We want to fucking help, we want to help out and all that. We reach out, right? Just because the tag veteran, because this, no, guaranteed some of the veterans that are out there have been in trouble multiple fucking times. Have been in trouble with the fucking law for DUIs or minor possession or drug charges or the same fucking thing.
And George Floyd, yeah, and I hear, well, he did this and that. Yes, he wasn't a fucking pristine, pretty angel. But unless the death penalty has been judged upon him by a court of his fucking peers, it is not up to a cop to snuff the life out of somebody.
Fuck.
Yes, he did wrong. He wasn't a perfect person. I know. Apparently,
none of us were. None of us are.
Made like a fucking counterfeit money and done a bunch of stupid shit. And you know what? And a lot of the stuff he paid for his fucking crimes. But does not mean that somebody has the right to 8 minutes that you're dying.
Yep.
8 minutes that light is just going out. And death freaks people up enough as it is.
Right.
Think about it. You're 8 minutes. You're dying so fucking slowly that you have enough in your mind to call out to your mother.
Right.
Go for it. And wonder and tell me why these protesters shouldn't do what they do.
Yeah, I hate that when people bring that up. Well, he was convicted this and he did that, he did this. I'm like, whoa. Did you just not post a video or a picture of someone that knew that killed himself that was fighting with the fucking demons and something like that, or was going through some shit?
He had 3 Article 15.
He had 3 Article 15. Yeah.
He had Article 15.
Yeah. He got busted and all sorts of shit. Oh, let's go fucking let's do 22 a day and fucking push-ups for fucking remember everyone deployed. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. The vet card doesn't mean shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. It obviously has meaning to it, but I'm just saying that right there for the same thing. I notice how people don't do that when it's like okay, tell you what, how fucked up do you think it would be if I would have done that to anybody that killed themselves or ended their own life that was a veteran? Do you think I'd be looked at pretty fucked up if I did that?
They try to burn down our station.
If I did that to a veteran that took his own life or somebody in the military who took and I decided to go into their past and just destroy them, I would be looked at as a fucking monster. I'd be like, you're ruining his memory, you're doing this, you don't even know what he was going through, blah 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 blah. So then why the hell that a police officer who killed somebody like this all of a sudden this guy doesn't get a pass? This guy isn't being seen with some sort of sympathy? You're empathizing with what's been going through in his life? I hate that fucking shit, dude. I hate that fucking shit. It just every fucking time. You can unfollow me if you'd like. You can unfollow the station. You can not follow me on, fucking whatever social media platforms I'm on. But I'm pretty good.
We'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking. My conscience is fucking clear. And it would be anybody, any of you in the audience right now that if I saw that shit happening, man, you'd best believe I'd be fucking pissed. Yeah, exactly. He had a negative counseling. He deserved the beating. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck that. I don't ever want to fucking hear that shit again, man. If it's and if you don't, if you agree with it, you think that, oh well, ICE, what about this and what about that and what about that's not going to make it. That's to me, you're using that as an excuse, just like when people use the excuse to saying all lives matter. It's not the point. The point is that a police officer took the life of somebody who didn't deserve to die, and he was handcuffed and being held down. Fucking coward.
Which is stupid. You ever try to get yourself up facing the ground with your hands behind your back?
Right. Oh my god. Yeah. Exactly. So we're gonna do some housekeeping. On that note,
Now that we've had a very fucking politically charged.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
You know, one, I'm very proud of us for, you know, we need to make sure, at least for Flash and Ice, that, you know, we're made ourselves clear. And like you said, my conscience is clear on this conversation.
Right.
Don't have to like it.
Right.
But you know what? I'm going to look out for. I'm actually going to live by the Army values up there, and make sure I'm looking out for the soldier and citizen left and right of me.
Yeah, there's no that at all. And that's the whole thing that we always talk about when we talk about how we're about veteran empowerment. We're supposed to take the positive aspects of our military service and use that to be a better man or woman out into the world once we are out. Because you're not going to be in the military forever. So you use those positive aspects and you bring a different perspective to individuals who say, hey, this is what I'm... Because some of the stuff that I've dealt with in my life, I just, okay, well, we got to go through this and we got to go through that. And individuals that have never been through that stuff before, they don't know how do you do this, or how do I manage this and how do I manage that. And it seems like it's so easy for us to pull it off. Well, we've just had a different type of lifestyle. And again, you draw the positive from that stuff and place that out and use that wisdom you can impart to your civilian counterparts. That's the whole reason why the civil military divide is so wide right now. Nobody wants to fucking immediately shut the fuck up, fucking pogue, shut up, rah, fucking blue cord, rah. I'm like, oh God, dude, really, you're no better than the fucking guys who like to have the Punisher skull on there and shit. Anyways. So, tonight we had Wayne Carr-Maiden. Obviously, you saw a video of him, and he was in a viral video during the protest in Washington, D.C., protesting the killing of George Floyd, which, of course, he'll be talking about. He talked about what was happening and how he felt. A great guest. He did support, like I said, he did serve a little bit in the National Guard and was trying to go through some training. We're gonna see about getting him trained up. I mean, we're going to do our best to see what we can get him to get him in the Army, because he wants to be active duty. And I'm really curious to see how far we can get him out. Tomorrow we have a pop culture warrior with Michael Catascio, also known as CQ. He'll be rapping the Hollywood scene. There's a lot of Hollywood news going on right now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to catch everybody up on that. I think I may drop in or something like that. I don't know. I just shit with the guys. It's been a while since I've been on CQ show. I think I just might hang out. And this Thursday we have Sergeant Major Robert Craven. He is from Sword, Louisiana, and enlisted in the Army in March 1st, 1995 as an 1882 Charlie, which is a field artillery surveyor, and later reclassed to 13 Papa. Emilaris HIMARS, fire direction specialist. He's going to come on and shoot the shit with me about his organization that he's part of, which is the 5th Security Forces Assistance Brigade, covering the Indo-PACOM Geographic Combatant Command, which is kind of cool because the PACOM's the new hotness. Indo-PACOM is the new hotness. And he'll be on to shoot the shit about and dispel some rumors about the SVAC, which is the Security Forces Assistant Command, the do's and don'ts, how to join the formation, how to, what the mission's going to be bringing. I'm excited because, we like I said before, we shot the shit before. Great guy. We both have that brag, rah, jump masters, blah, blah. Don't forget, we got a show coming up pretty soon. Once we get everything squared away, Radar is going to be joining up. We're working on the motif right now for him, and like I said, I'm pretty excited to have him on. Again, so the next few weeks, you'll see probably up to the beginning of July some tests and stuff like that, and then he's going to he's going to be released from the nest and fly on his own. So pay attention to the radio side of WTF Nation Radio. Don't look at the main page just yet, because once he's ready to go, he'll be on all the streams. And then of course Sunday we have Kicking It with Kaz with Al and Kaz, and then right back to us. Ice and Flash. Welcome back, Flash. I mean, so glad you're Jose. I mean, your other stuff is.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, man.
This was a good show.
Yeah, this was a good show. We needed to vent. We need to get stuff out of our system. Great arguments back and forth. We still love you. It's always good to have the back and forth conversations. But again, I'm gonna post another. I'm gonna post that Fort Hood video again tonight, right before we cut the feed, so that way you guys and gals can get some information and see what the command is concerned about on Fort Hood. So with that, thank you all for hanging out, and Space Horse, shots.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. And now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. We'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger-qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
Phantom Warriors, friends of Central Texas. I'm Major General Scott Eflon, the Deputy Commanding General of 3 Corps, and I need to share with you a burden that we have here at Fort Hood and request your assistance. On 22 April, Vanessa Guillen, PFC in the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, was at her place of duty, and around noon is the last time anyone has seen her. Since that time, we've continued to search for her, and there's an active investigation from the Criminal Investigation Command. But we want to bring Vanessa home as efficiently and as rapidly as possible. And towards that end, I'm asking for your assistance. Somebody, some person out there has the piece of information we need to bring Vanessa home. We will continue to search for our missing member of our Army family. If you're the person that has the information we need, I ask you please call 254-495-7767. We need to bring Vanessa back to her Army family and to bring her back to her family. We won't stop this effort until we're successful. And with your help, we can be successful sooner. Thank you.